Told you so. What's up, guys? Welcome back, J Live. It's been a while since we've done this after a regular season Rams game. And what I mean by it's been a while, I think it's literally been since the Rams Raiders game. That's the last time the Rams won. Is that true? Is that true? I think that's true. I think it was the Raiders game, if I'm not mistaken. It was either the Raiders or it was the Broncos. I think it was the Broncos, actually. It was one of those two. Anyway, doesn't matter because they won in 2023. So I don't know how they're going to be tanking, right? I don't know. How are they going to be tanking? Do you know? It's hard to tank when you win 30-13. You know what I'm saying? How about that bust? Not Puka Nacua. How about that bust? Tutu Atwell, right? Damn. Really could have used Creed Humphrey. You know what I'm saying? Good Lord. I mean, that offensive line was brutal today. What, they didn't give up a sack. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Cool. Awesome. Here's the thing, okay? Puka Nacua, and this is important, okay? Because everyone's like, talk your shit, Jake. And I appreciate that. I love every single one of you. But here's the important thing, okay? I was wrong. Okay, you guys are giving me credit. I don't deserve credit. I was wrong. Here's why. Ready for this? Ascending, thank you so much for becoming a member. Appreciate you. I was wrong because I didn't think Puka Nacua was going to be this good. And I want to be open and honest about that. I was wrong about Puka Nacua. Not that I didn't think he could be this good, but not out of the gate. And I was just so impressed with this offense because I'm going to have you guys call in. I don't know how long this is going to be. Like, you guys are welcome to call in. I got Discord open here, right? So you guys are welcome to call in. I'm just going to have my little spiel to start off, and then I'll bring people on. Can't have you on too long because if a lot of people call in, I got to try to get through everyone. And then we'll do some sort of watch party for the Sunday Night Football game, or maybe we won't. Maybe this thing will go on. I don't care. I don't have anywhere to be. This is my job, okay? I won't get off if you guys don't want me to get off. So here's the thing. All right, here's the important thing here. Let's go through the JE Live spiel. First and foremost, this team is not tanking, okay? Do we finally understand why I've been saying that for weeks and months? This team is not tanking. Thank you so much, Hilltop. I appreciate you. I'm going to read that in a sec. This team is not tanking. It's not tanking, okay? This team can go to the playoffs. This team, I'm not going to say it can't. I mean, they can win a Super Bowl. I'm not going to say they're going to. I'm not going to overreact after week one. But we're not talking about Scott Linehan here. We're not talking about Hugh Jackson. We're not talking about, like, insert whatever coach there. We're talking about Sean McVay, the youngest coach in the NFL, it took everything in the house to fall on top of him. Will, thank you so much for the gifted, man. I appreciate it. Julian, thank you so much. I'm going to have to read all these after my spiel. So look, okay? We're talking about Sean McVay. So understand when I say that I expect Sean McVay to come out with a fire lit under his ass and his team to show the same, I mean it, because it's McVay. If they didn't have a coach I didn't believe in, I wouldn't be spewing it. So here's the problem is, you have a lot of people that call me a homer. I'm wearing a Rams jersey. I have a Rams helmet. I have a Rams banner. But here's the thing. I'm not a homer, okay? I'm not. I call it like it is. Do you guys remember the beginning of the year? I had people unfollowing me, actually. I had people unsubscribing and unfollowing saying I was too negative. You hate this team. You don't believe in them. You don't believe in Sean McVay and Les Snead. At the time, I didn't know what the hell they were doing. I didn't like getting rid of Jalen Ramsey. I didn't like getting rid of Bobby Wagner. I still don't, because I don't love that he's on Seattle. Not like it mattered. I didn't like getting rid of Leonard Floyd. Okay? I had reasons. But then, it's funny, as soon as I love the draft, I say it's an A-plus draft, people are calling me a homer. Now, hear me out when I say this, okay? The draft changed my mind, because the draft solidified what I was hoping and believing that they were aiming for. And what I mean by that is this draft, folks, was so important. They hit on 14 players. They drafted 14. If they hit on 7 of those 14, that's a 50% hit rate. That will get you a contract extension if you are a GM, my friends. So here's the thing, okay? I'm not trying to do a victory lap after week 1. But when people were saying this team's going to win 3 games, I heard 2-15 even. Mark Sessler on the NFL Network had them losing 35-10. And I'm sitting there like, okay, but how are the Rams only going to score 10 points? Is Matthew Stafford getting hurt as soon as he enters the game? How do you have that? And I just think to myself, like, this is easy. How can no one see this? And I'm not like, it's not like me, you know, I'm better than everyone else. It's just like Madden had him at a 75 rating, the 22nd best quarterback in the league in their video game. Thank you, Mikey. I like, what am I missing? And I was like, you know what? I'm not missing this, because there are other people that see this as well as I do. I'm not the only one that sees this. Tim, thank you so much for the 2. I'm going to read everything. Do not worry. We'll be here for a while. It's not that I'm missing anything. It's that everyone else is seeing it too. So I'm not going crazy here. Like, not everyone else. There are other people that see this. And I'm sitting to myself, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm having different conversations with different people and getting different vibes. And I'm like, man, you got Matthew Stafford. He just won a Super Bowl not long ago. Oh my freaking God, Swizzleberry just hit me with a 10 gifted. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you guys so much. Oh man, I'm gonna try to get to the comments. I wanna see every comment if I can. But the point I'm making here, guys, again, thank you guys, really. The point I'm making here is that it just feels like it's a layup. Like, I understand they got rid of a lot of talent, but this feels like a layup to me. Like, because think about it. I'm not saying that this team is winning the Super Bowl guaranteed. I was just saying it started off with they're not tanking. It started off with they're not going 5-12 again. Now I'm just saying that, look, this team's going to be competitive. I think they go to the playoffs. Whether you agree with me or not, fine. But they're not going to be a bad team. So when people were saying, oh, Drake May, it's Drake May time. Oh, Caleb Williams. Oh, this. Oh, that. And then I was getting called the negative one because I'm being negative towards fans. I don't mean any disrespect. But you have to understand, people have been waiting 9 months to watch this. I know you guys been waiting 9 months to watch football, to watch the Rams, to watch those beautiful horns on the helmet, to watch Matthew Stafford sling the ball like it's a freaking missile every time he throws it. And it's just like, that's all I've been saying. Like, I'm not a fan of trying to be the thief of joy. And I'm not being a thief of joy if I'm saying let's not lose on purpose. I do believe being a thief of joy is going out and trying to ruin the rest of the year for people, trying to give them no hope. It's not that I'm giving you hope because I want to give you hope, although I'd like to do that. I'm a nice person, I think. I like to think so. It's the fact that this team is simply better than the media has poisoned you to believe. I mean, what was it? This is why. I don't mean to call people out and be a jerk, but at least respect your profession. Like, Jason McIntyre was on FS1 saying this team is devoid of talent. Devoid of talent. And I quote, "The offensive line is just not good." What kind of analysis is that? So, I've just been seeing this for a while, and I was like, it's time for me to actually step up and just put it out there. And I've been getting more rowdy about it because I believe in it. The more I'm passionate about something, the more you're going to hear about it. And that should be the same with anybody. Just like Tutu Atwell. Everyone was out on Tutu Atwell. I stuck by my guns on him. It's one game. One game, I get it. But Tutu Atwell is going to be a problem this year, and he's going over 1,000 yards if he stays healthy. Okay? Like, but let's talk about the game. Let's not talk about, like, oh, let's not take our, like, okay, I got my victory lap in. You guys came here for the analysis. I guess entertainment as well. I think I'm somewhat entertaining. It's probably why there's almost 600 people in here. Thank you for that. There's almost 40 people on Kick. Thank you for that. If you guys haven't already, be sure to hit that. I don't even know what I'm saying because there's so many people. I'm like flustered. I should be ready for this. I've been dying for this, but I'm not. Hit the like button. Thank you, Nolan. Hit the like button for me on YouTube. If you're on Kick, dude. Oh my God. Wait, what? What? Dude, he just gifted me 44 subs. Swizzleberry. What? What? Oh my God. Yo, dude, I'm sorry, chat. I was not expecting that. Good Lord. The real MVP over here. I was just going to say, subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. And if you're on Kick, be sure to hit the follow button for me. And if you're not on Kick, I'm going to be doing a film breakdown of this entire game in all 22 on Kick. So I will drop the link in the chat on YouTube. Check that out. Kareem, what's up? How we doing, Michael? Wow, gold box. Good Lord. Swizz, you are cooking right now. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Hey, man, thank you for the content. Let's go Rams. Hey, I appreciate that. Everyone, you guys are awesome. I'm going to read. All right, let's do that. Before we break down the game, if you could, for me, be sure to follow Kick because I can only do film breakdown on Kick without getting copyright struck. So we do film breakdowns on Kick. It's a lot of fun. Thank you. 111, man. You got 111 subs. Good Lord. We do film breakdowns. I don't even know how to react to this. This is insane. We do film breakdowns over on Kick, right? I also play games. A lot of people don't care about the video games. That's fine. That's why I moved it off YouTube so you don't have to look at it. But if you do, that's great. If you don't, no big deal. But every week we are going to be doing all 22. Don, thank you. I cannot wait to read all these super chats. We're going to be doing all 22 on kick.com. Okay? All 22 of this game, every game this year. So be sure to check that out. Holy hell, we have 59 people on Kick right now. You guys are freaking awesome. Be sure to hit that follow button. It should be right there if you don't see it. But yeah, follow button, subscribe button. I'm done spieling. I'm losing my voice. So let's get back to all of these because I appreciate all of you for real. Hilltop. I hope it lets me see all of my viewer activity. Okay, here are my super chats. Okay, here we go. Monty Brown at 750. You gave me a super chat at 750 and I just now saw this. Thank you so much, my guy. You're the man. Love it. Ascending, thank you so much for becoming a member. I think I already said that, but still. Tim, thank you so much for becoming a member. Hilltop, let's go Jake. The O-line was great. DBs played well. 2 100-yard receivers. Ram Stampede, thank you so much for the follow. Need, thank you so much for the follow. DK deserves to be suspended for that dirty hit on Witherspoon. Absolutely. That was garbage. There's no place for that in the NFL. None. There's none. Okay? You're having a bad game. I get it. There's no reason to try to give a guy whiplash, okay? Hitting him from behind, like, it's so easy for you to do that with his back turned. It's so easy for you to do that. We all know if Jalen Ramsey was there, you're not touching Jalen Ramsey. We all know you're not going near Jalen Ramsey, right? So I used to respect DK. I lost a ton of that today with him. It doesn't matter because they lost. Julian Dominguez, thank you so much for the 2. Who's tanking? Talk to him, Jake. Appreciate you. Tim, thank you so much for the 2. You the man, Jake. Go Rams. Thank you, Tim. Boondy, my guy, how you doing? Good day, mate. Love your commentary. Thank you so much for the 8, man. Don't stop being you. It's good to be back. Good to have you back, man. It's great to see you. I appreciate you. Monty, thank you so much for the 5. Yet again, you are better than everyone else. Tutu Atwell, your Rams. Horns up. Thank you so much, Monty. I appreciate that. Rakeem, thank you so much for becoming a member. Don, thank you so much for the 20. Isaac, thank you so much for the 2. Wow, this is awesome, man. This is freaking all right. I was very excited for the season. I didn't expect this. This is flat out amazing. MJA, thank you so much for following me on Kick. I appreciate it. We're rolling, man. We're building both Kick and YouTube. Okay, we're going right to the top on YouTube. We're going for 20,000 subscribers. We'll get there. I know it. You guys are really passionate. You guys are really supportive. We're also on Bleacher Report. We're over on there as well. I just came back from the Bleacher Report live stream. So, good Lord, I'm feeling good right now. I'm feeling good. Are you feeling good? I'm feeling good. We got almost 600 people in here. Good Lord. Hard work is paying off. I mean, you know, when I'm running out of breath, and it's not because I'm talking about the Rams, but because I'm thanking you guys for subscribing, following, and donating, that really says it all. That's that's where we're at right now. It's a fun time, man. It is a fun time. But yeah, honestly, the following on Kick is huge. I'm trying to get to verified status, so if I get at least 75 people like viewing it per stream or whatever over a 30-day period, I'll get that. So that's really cool. Yeah, USC does look good. Bobby, thank you so much for the 2. I appreciate it. Really appreciate it, man. I got you. I'll link Discord. Yeah, you guys could also sign up for the Discord. It's free. You'll keep, you could keep in touch with everybody. Yeah, I mean, this is fun, man. This is fun. I don't even remember what I was going to say. This is awesome. For real. It's week 1. It's week 1. I mean, like, that's where we're at right now. So, Michael, thank you so much for the 5. I appreciate you. Ricardo, thank you so much for the 5. James, thank you so much for the 5. Were any rookies playing today? Yeah, so let's God, I'm trying to think of a way to dissect this game in a way that like feels organized, if that makes sense. God, how do we organize this? There's so much to talk about. Oh man. All right, first off, let's just go the natural way, the quarterback position. Matthew Stafford was awesome in this game. Okay? He's awesome. No touchdowns. I don't give a damn. Okay? He had 334 yards. He went 24-38. He had a 91.3 passer rating. 8.8 yards per average and over 13 per completed. He cooked, okay? And he was in his bag. I tweeted that out. This guy was just on a freaking mission. On a mission. I mean, Matthew Stafford was just on a mission today. And the thing is, I watched a lot of football. You guys know. I see some of you guys that were in here earlier. Thank you, Truth. I see some of you guys that were in here earlier. We were doing the watch party for the 1 o'clock slate. You guys saw the quarterback play. You guys saw the football play. And you know what? There were a lot of fumbles. There were a lot of turnovers. There was a lot of sloppy play. But man, didn't it seem like that Rams team that's inexperienced, unproven, has just a dinosaur at quarterback who's going to get hurt? Didn't it seem like that team wasn't very sloppy? Felt like that team was pretty well coached, wouldn't you say? I thought so. The penalties were BS for the most part. I'd tell you if they weren't, but they were. A lot of those penalties were awful. Like awful, awful calls. I don't know, man. I came away with that like, that's interesting, is it not? But anyway, Stafford looked awesome. Geno, everyone was talking about Geno. People were like, is Geno better than Stafford? Is Geno number 2? I saw a ranking. It was Jalen Hurts, Geno, and Jared Goff. Okay? We can like Jared Goff. We can root for Jared Goff. It's nice that he has success in Detroit. I have no issue with that. I don't have anything against the guy. He's not better than Matthew Stafford. If the Detroit Lions had Matthew Stafford the way he played today, they're blowing out Kansas City. Blowing them out. That game's not close. So he was unbelievable, man. He was unbelievable. I was so impressed. I was just so impressed with just the arm angles. Remember I mentioned he lost some weight? You could tell. He was lighter on his feet. He was able to get out on the bootleg, run outs, sprint outs. Occupant of Mars, thank you so much for the follow on Kick. I appreciate you. It was awesome, man, to see him get out there and be able to command, and the run. Exactly, Deb. Like, he had a 9-yard run where and it always seems like with him, he has to like dodge and like weave his way when he's running, but he looks faster. So Stafford took care of his body. He is not anywhere close to retirement unless there's some unforeseen injury that comes up. He is going to play until he's 40. I don't care what anyone says. That dude he's having the time of his life out there. He was having a great time out there. Okay. Dude was rated a 75 in Madden, and he said, you know what? You're wrong. And I'm going to prove it. And I'm sure he didn't even care, because who cares? Anyway, Geno didn't look very good. I thought early on, like, he made some interesting plays, but for the most part, Rams defense held him in check. Raheem Morris, that's my guy. Been defending Raheem Morris for a while. He looked really good in this one. Didn't the defense, what did I say? Rebuilt the offense from the ground up, right? Because this is a rebuild offense, you could tell. And they added more aggressive, more aggression on the defensive side. Pretty crazy, right? Like, they were aggressive on defense today. And I mean, Darian Kendrick, like, he was better than I thought. Now, he gave up the really bad touchdown and had some burn moments, and I had to name him as a loser because I couldn't think of losers in my head outside of Van Jefferson for the Bleacher Report show. But I was actually pretty impressed with Darian Kendrick. I'm not going to lie. I thought he was pretty solid. He had a really nice pass breakup. He came up and had a really nice job. And that was not soft shell coverage the whole game. That was not bend, don't break the whole game. And he's doing that. Mind you, Raheem's doing that without Jalen Ramsey, Bobby Wagner, Leonard Floyd. I'm just saying. Anyway, we move on to the running backs. How about that Kyren Williams kid? Remember when I was saying Kyren Williams is somebody that you should expect to, I don't know, have a legit role in the offense? And there were people that are like, he's not going to have a big role in the offense. He's just a guy. I had fantasy football people telling me that I was wrong about a team that I've been covering since 2016 and saying that I should have Zach Evans starting. Are you freaking kidding me? Zach Evans was a healthy scratch. Stay in your lane. It's not that deep. I'm just kidding. But still, Kyren Williams had 2 touchdowns. He could have had 3. Akers, very bad game. But context is needed, okay? Context is needed because Akers, at the end of the game, he was getting the lion's share of the carries. They are in, like, pretty much the game's over. Everyone knows they're running the ball, right? So they're loading up the boxes. There are 8, 9 guys in the box. It's hard to run against that. These were not light boxes they were running against. So it was not a good game. You move on. We see what Akers can do against the 49ers next week. Oh, my. Swizzleberry just hit me with 19 gifted. I can't even. Thank you, Ricardo. Have a beer on me, Jake. Hey, I appreciate you guys for real. Swizzleberry, I don't have enough W's to give you right now. I'm not even reacting like I normally like. I'm like desensitized. This is the problem. I'm like, I can't even believe this, bruh. Like, holy hell. Thank you though, for real. It's so cool. So, yeah, my God, man. That's awesome. I can't wait to have you guys on. I'm almost done. So, Kyron Williams looked really good. What I was hearing is in camp, he was getting a lot of run with the ones. We heard about the joint practices. I was saying don't count him out. Now, I thought he'd get more receiving run. He didn't. So it's weird. In the stat sheet, it says he had 0 receptions for 2 yards and 2 targets. I don't know how that works. Like, I don't know if anybody can tell me how that works. I've never heard of 0 catches for 2 yards. I'm assuming that's an error. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. But anyway, wide receiver room. That's what you guys want to know. That's what you guys want to hear. Tutu Atwell, 6 catches, 119 yards. He had a 44-yard bomb he caught from Stafford. He and Stafford on the same page. You know who else is on the same page with Matthew Stafford? The kid out of BYU, 5th round, Puka Nacua. 10 catches, 119 yards. He had a 21-yard play. He was his old reliable, which is bizarre, calling a rookie old reliable. And the guy in his contract year, Van Jefferson, 4 catches for 24 yards on 5 targets. You had Tyler Higbee catch 3 of 3 for 49. I like the way they use Higbee, man. You don't need to go crazy with Higbee, okay? This is exactly what everyone was trying to say, you know, that was in support of this offense despite Cooper Kupp being out. This gives Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford an opportunity to work with other receivers. He did not, like, Matthew Stafford didn't go there. And this is why the narrative that Matthew Stafford only throws to Cooper Kupp and he'll only throw to Tyler Higbee and he'll only throw to people he trusts is BS. And I've been saying it. Because he was throwing a 5th-round rookie receiver and turning him into a 100-yard receiver in his first game. Tutu Atwell was an afterthought for people. There are people that had him off the roster. There are people that wanted to draft a receiver high. Tutu Atwell is the number 2 receiver. You could argue Puka Nacua and Tutu Atwell surpassed Van Jefferson in this game. I don't know if they did, but you could argue it right now going in week 2. Do you trust Van Jefferson or do you trust Puka Nacua and Tutu Atwell more? Right? So the receiver room looks good. Demarcus Robinson didn't get really any run in the receiving room, and I think he's a good 6th or 5th receiver, and he would probably start on the Kansas City Chiefs right now if he was on them. Ben Skoranek didn't really get any run, but I trust him, and he's a good special teamer, so it's nice to have those guys on the back burner. Bryson Hopkins, man. If Bryson Hopkins did not fall down, I would have predicted that touchdown. And I know some of you bet on that anytime Bryson Hopkins touchdown. It was so close. So close. We almost had it, folks. But anyway, this looks really good. This looks really he threw to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different receivers. Too Dangerous, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for the 5. Rams House Jake, much love from St. Louis to LA for life. 30 without Cooper playing and 30 when he plays. Puka and Coop are going to dominate the lead. I think this game is a 42 or 49 or whatever game. It's an absolute trouncing if Cooper Kupp plays. So how about instead, and this is what I've been saying, instead of what do you do without Cooper Kupp? How about instead realize it's going to be SoCal. Thank you so much for the gifted. Derek, thank you so much for the 5. Nacua gives me St. Louis Amendola vibes. I like that. I think he could be better than Amendola, but I like that a lot. Yeah, it's a good sign because I think we focus so much on what happens if Cooper Kupp is out, and we didn't focus enough on what happens if, like I've been saying, this offense is fine without Cooper Kupp, and then all of this experience, I know Ruiz mentioned it. There were other people in the chat that mentioned it. What if all this experience these guys get makes them better? Oh my God. What if this time out is a beneficial thing and now Puka Nacua, his development is sped up? You know what I'm saying? Puka Nacua's development is sped up now. I mean, the last guy to do anything like this, a late round pick, was Allen Hurns. So that's the thing. And then Tutu Atwell. Like, this is what I was talking about. 119 yards their first game. People are like, oh, it's one game. Well, for the people that are saying it's one game, you're not taking into account something. Tutu Atwell has not started an NFL game with Matthew Stafford until today. And the first time he started with the QB1, he goes over 119. He goes to 119 yards. I was wrong. I had him at 120, I think, and I had 2 touchdowns. Or I had a touchdown. I think Alexis had 2. He didn't get touchdowns because they just want to win the game. They didn't care about all the stats. They're like, all right, Kyron Williams gives us our best chance to win this game in the red zone. Oh, and by the way, the Rams scored in the red zone. Like, they actually put together drives, 16-play drives, guys, and then they capitalized. They punched it right in the end zone. You love that. DHP, thank you so much for the 5. I assumed Tutu would be on the IR after game 1. So glad I was wrong. Yeah. I mean, Tutu, he looks ready, man. Did you see him blocking Bobby Wagner? I've been telling you guys, this guy, he's feisty, man. And then the throw over the middle, Stafford threw that laser. That doesn't really narrow it down now, does it? But he threw the laser to Atwell. Did you see Atwell? Whoop. Like, this guy, I'm telling you, Atwell's a baller. Puka's a baller. Matthew Stafford's one of the best quarterbacks in all of football. I mean, people just forgot about that because he had a down year and then he dealt with injury. He's still him. He's still a top 5 quarterback. Who's better than Matthew Stafford right now? Patrick Mahomes? Like, who's genuinely 100% better than Matthew Stafford? Patrick Mahomes. That's the only one. Patrick Mahomes is the only one you could even say is better than Matthew Stafford. Like, right now. Seriously. Who's better? I mean, Aaron Rodgers and Matthew Stafford are kind of 1A, 1B right now, right? But, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is coming off a down year, too. People, all right, and I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. If you were one of those people that said Matthew Stafford is below Justin Fields, watch tape. Just watch tape. That's all I'm going to ask. Playing the quarterback position is not running the ball only. You got to do more than run the ball. I'm sorry. I had to bring that because all offseason I heard Justin Fields this, Justin Fields this, Justin Fields top 10. Where's Matthew Stafford in your top 10 list? I don't know. Justin Fields is better than Matthew Stafford. I saw that everywhere. I don't know why. Justin Fields is not Matthew Stafford. Not even close. Not even a quarter of Matthew Stafford. This is one of the best quarterbacks in football. When he's healthy, he's almost unstoppable. And by the way, don't you remember when people were saying that? We were hearing those reports about training camp being unstoppable. Remember? Matthew was just throwing wherever he wanted to. Sure looked like that today. But hey, it's just joint practices. It doesn't count. Okay, well, he sure looked good today. Sure looked like it counted today. So, anyway, spending too much on the offense. Let's get into defense, and then I'm going to bring you guys on. Guys, be sure to hit the follow button on Kick if you haven't already. We do film breakdowns over there, so that's how you're going to see the all 22 film breakdowns for the Rams. Also, be sure to hit the like button on YouTube. We're at 287. And be sure to subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. I assume we're pretty high now. We gained a lot of subscribers in like the last, I don't even know. Yeah. Oh my God. We just gained like 10 subscribers in the last 2 seconds. Anyway, that's not the point. Sir Bandit, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. Sorry if I butchered your name. So let's talk about the defense, okay? What have I been saying about the defense? The edge pressure. I still believe this. I still believe this team is the perfect team to go out and make a move at the deadline, okay? They're the perfect team to go out and make a move at the deadline and get somebody to, have some edge pressure, okay? I could see Chase Young. I could see Rashawn Gary. I could see somebody like that because they're probably going to go out and get somebody that has a contract expired after the season. Thank you so much, Faye2E. I think it's Faze. Thank you so much for following me. I don't want to butcher anyone's name. But here's the thing, okay? Is that what it comes down to is when you have a team that is going to be winning games, clearly, the trade's open, guys. They might decide, hey, we want to make this team better. Rob Bravo, thank you so much for following me on Kick. I appreciate it. They might want to make this team better. And if they want to make this team better, it's very simple, right? It's very simple. You go after a 2024 free agent edge that you think fits. Use that cap space next year to sign him. You go out and get him now. Not now, but at the deadline. Silver Coast, thank you so much for the follow and Kick. Appreciate you. I guess I'm missing subscribers. Oh, Fernando, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you. Avila is a stud. I want to see more of a run game. Young and Turner both got a sack. So did AD. Akers fell off. Van not here next year. There's a chance you're right. We, not really sure there. Derek, why is DK always cheap shotting Rams during L's? Do you think he is fined by league office? Oh, he'll definitely be fined. I think he should be suspended. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I think he should be suspended. Cowboys defense is crazy. I haven't actually watched any of the game. It's not even on. You guys have my full undivided attention. Oh, hey, Rusty. I didn't even know you could. Well, I was going to bring in callers, after I did the defensive side. Yeah, if you want to just slide in the waiting room, and then I'll just bring you in when I'm done. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so guys, if you want to call into Discord, like Rusty, just when you join the Discord, you just drop in the waiting room, and there you put it right in the you drop in the waiting room, and I'll bring you into the call in because I'm gonna have people on. Unusual activity detected. What is the unusual activity? Huh, interesting. That's weird. I just got that message. Maybe we're bringing in too many people and it's freaking out Discord. I don't know. I don't think so. We have 578 people. Anyway, no, we're not getting hacked. We're good. All right. So back to the defense. I like the defense. I thought Ernest Jones set the tone. I thought you saw, veteran leadership from Jordan Fuller in the back end of the secondary. Aaron Donald was a monster. He just was. I mean, he is. He's still him. He didn't go away. There is some concern about, guys like Michael Hoyt. Maybe they're not winning, their matchups. Really liked what I saw out of Kobe Durant. He was penalized for something he shouldn't have been penalized for. I liked what I saw out of Kobe Turner. I can tell you that right now. I liked Ahkello Witherspoon. I thought Darion Kendrick had his moments. Byron Young really stood out to me, playing beyond a rookie. The win with the speed to power conversion, and I know you guys know what play I'm talking about. The dude literally ate that offensive lineman's lunch. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Let's see here. Oh, Joe Cool, thank you so much for the 2. Appreciate you. What are the chances the Rams trade for Brian Burns? I'm sure they'd love him. I know he's a fit. They'd love Brian Burns. It's just the problem is, I mean, I don't buy that he's available, you know? I don't really buy that he's available. I think that's the really important thing here, is that you got to be available. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. But anyway, defense looks good. Hopefully Akello's okay. That was a BS cheap shot. I know someone said Christian Roseboom looks slow. I mean, I thought he looked all right, but you know, I get it. Zach Van Valkenburg with a hit on the quarterback. You had a pass breakup with Darion Kendrick, the only one of the game, actually. 2 sacks total, because there was a half sack awarded for Byron Young, Donald Hoyt, and Kobe Turner. I don't know if I agree with the half sacks, some of them there, but anyway. All 3 tackles for a loss were with Ernest Jones. I mean, this defense is going to get tested, okay? Offense, I think, is going to be consistent throughout the year. I don't think they're going to have growing pains. Like, I think they're going to be a well-oiled machine. I think they're a top 5 offense. I've said that. That was one of my bold predictions. I said that. But when it comes to the defense, this is going to be a week-to-week basis. They are going to have growing pains, okay? This game could have been different. So just remember that. They're going to have growing pains. But this was a hell of a job from Raheem Morris, because he's being asked to coach a defense that's arguably the least talented he's coached. And getting those results, that's impressive. So now I'm going to ask you guys, if you guys want to call in, be sure to do so. If you haven't, Zach, what's up? I see you over on Kick. Man, I want to say hi to everybody. It's just there's so many people. It's like, now I'm going to bring on people. Well, let's just see if I can. Oh my God, there's so many. I underestimated. Oh Lord. Hi everybody. I hate to be that guy. It's just there's so many. I wanted to go through and yeah. Good Lord, man. All right. So here's how this is gonna go. So the link is in the chat. The link is also in the description. And if you want to call in, you just hop in that Discord link. And if you want to support the channel further, support me further, and you want to watch all 22 content, go and follow the Kick channel. Okay? So that is that. Now, Rusty, I'm going to bring you in. Germ is behind you. And yeah, guys, just drag and drop. Well, just click on the waiting room in the voice chat, and you'll be good to go. Rusty, welcome to JE Live. How you doing? Well, the Rams got the W. I mean, I just got donated tons of money. I don't know if you saw all those gifted subs and everything and the super chats. Hey, I appreciate that. Ram Stampede just subbed to me on Kick while we were talking. Ram Stampede, thank you so much for subbing. I appreciate that. So, oh, you can't hear Rusty? All right, let me fix this. Let's see. 1 second. I want to make sure they can hear you. All right. They should be able to hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're coming through now.
All right.
All right.
So not gonna lie, Jake.
Yeah.
Oh, you go right ahead. Finish your sentence.
No, I didn't have anything to say. I don't even know what I was gonna say.
All right. So
Yeah.
from what I told you last time I was on the show, like someone has to come out punching first. And who punched that? Who came punching first? The Rams.
Mm-hmm.
How? By beating the shit up by running the goddamn ball down the Seahawks' throats. They had no answers for it, and Stafford just slinging it and slinging it. And what I said, a lot of people stepped up. Puka Nakua, like my God, it looked like I was watching Cooper Cup and Robert Woods at the same time.
Yeah.
Then Tutu with his amazing catches, like damn. And I've been critical of Tutu, but my God, he showed more poise than Van. Van really disappointed me today with that easy touchdown. But hopefully it's just the jitters right now because he didn't really have that much of a good game. Ernest Jones, my God, I don't know what happened. Either that captain patch like hyped him up, or he was on fire or something. But
Looked like a
he played with
madman.
that. Oh yeah, when that screen pass to Kenneth Walker, as soon as I saw EJ like break that that block, he literally came out like a bat out of hell and just annihilated Kenneth Walker. Then Darion Kendrick, I was so happy about him. Like I know he gave up that DK that TD DK, but throughout the whole rest of the game, we heard nothing from him because he locked DK up, and of course DK didn't like that, and the only time he wanted to like make his presence known is when he blindside blocked Akilla Witherspoon. Thank God in that horror deal, AD and Kobe Turner just came out of nowhere, made him regret that, and it was awesome. I was so happy. And yeah, defense played really good. Michael Hoy was not gonna lie, he was very disappointing to watch. I was like, what is Raheem doing? Why is he putting a linebacker at DK? And
he actually
really
broke up the pass, and then they called it PI. It was a great play.
Yeah, I was like, come on, refs. So how do you want us to play? Like, just let him get the free first down, and
yeah, apparently that's how they're like. Yeah, just let him. Just don't touch him. Just don't touch him.
he did his.
So I was gonna ask you, Rusty. We talked last time. I don't think you were super low on the team, but I don't think you were super high on the team either. What does this win mean for you as far as your confidence meter for the Rams?
Well, we have a solid foundation right now. These players are playing with their heart. Like Puka, he's playing like he's been here like for 3-4 years already. Tutu, he's not thinking he's small anymore. His mentality's bigger. He's like, okay, if I'm open, and Staff's gonna see me, I'm gonna catch it. And I'm not gonna lie, he got cracked a lot, and he still stood up, and I was like, he's taking advantage of his opportunities. Van, I'm a little worried on him because he is like his third year, and this is his contract year, and you don't get that many chances for Stafford to launch it and get the easiest touchdown in the world, and you fumbled it.
Yeah,
I expect that veteran. Well, we have a really good solid foundation. I really like Kobe Turner. My God, but like I was watching Ashawn Robinson, Sebastian Joseph Day. Like I was watching them all over again. Like it was insane. And he got double teams, which I was surprised for a rookie, and he was able to handle those. So yeah, we have good foundational pieces, but I wouldn't be surprised if we like trade for more help. But we did really good. I was really surprised. Defense came up. Raheem, I loved his play style. He played more man than usual. No more soft coverage, and we actually did really good. And like I felt the confidence in these corners. Like okay, Darion Kendrick, I know he's not the biggest guy, but when he went toe to toe with DK Metcalf, and we didn't hear anything from him after that TD he had, but other than that, DK was quiet, and Kendrick like locked him up. And of course, DK didn't like that, and he did all that horror deal. But he played really good.
Yeah, no, he was lashing out. Rusty, since we got 4 people waiting. Last thing here. How are you feeling going into the 49ers game?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I really like our O-line. Nopum really solidified himself as the right guard. Like I was so surprised on that. And I feel like we can challenge the 49ers. but it has to be through our offense. Like today, defense is gonna have their ups and downs, but I feel like we have a solid chance to make it a close game. But it depends because these 49ers, oh my god, it looked like D'Amico Ryans was literally not the reason they were so good. Turns out they're good on their own, but I have confidence us to at least get close to the game. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams cause an upset because no one expects us to win that game. It's home. I feel like Sean McVay was really running in his mojo today. Hopefully, he can transition that to the next game, and hopefully Raheem can create up some good packages, blitz or whatever for um, Brock Purdy. But it's gonna be a really long day because especially if we have to deal with Debo. He's always a pain in our ass, and Brandon Ayuk, who was he was insane today, and George Kittle. But I feel like we could match up with them well. It all depends on how we start the game and how we finish it. And we finish strong. We start strong. We finish strong. We're gonna win that game. But it all depends. But I'm pretty sure we can win it. But who knows?
Who knows, right? We'll have to find out next week. But appreciate you calling in, man. This is fun, and you were the first caller, so appreciate you.
See you guys
later, Rusty. Next up, we got Germ Dog. How's it going, Germ Dog? We just talked not that long ago, and you were kind of like me, pretty high on the Rams. You had a higher record at 12-5, if I'm not mistaken. While I had 10-7. How are you feeling about that going into week 2 now that they just won that game the way they did?
Well, coming into the game, after I saw that game, I'm inching more and more closer to being more confident in that 12-5. Like I said, I still stand by it, but it's inching closer and closer to that.
No, I definitely hear you there. And, I think just kind of looking at the guys that maybe we thought, okay, they're going to produce, but, just the idea, like, to have a Puka Nacua go over 100 yards in his first game, to have Tutu Atwell go over 100 yards. I mean, even though that's kind of what I expected, that is what I expected. Just the fact that it happened, and then the fact that, like, we can look at it the way we want to, but like the run game wasn't great, and they still didn't stop running the ball, which is great because it shows their desire to be a balanced football team. You're talking about 37 passes to 40 carries. That's really good, and I just think at the end of the day, like, with this and kind of like what we were talking about, it's going to be more so you're talking about a team that's essentially going to be a balanced offense and be a more aggressive defense, which is what we saw. What were your takeaways on the defense? Because I thought they came out really well in the first drive. They had that tenacity. Second drive I didn't love, and then they buckled down, and I thought they were really good throughout the rest of the game. But what were your thoughts?
Well, after that second drive, I was a little worried because I was like, okay, so we're really gonna go back to how we was playing last year. But I do have to say that I just now realized this.
Mm-hmm.
My boy Trey did not play.
I think he was in there after what's his face got hurt. Witherspoon.
He only played like a little bit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll have to look at the snap counts, and obviously we'll go over it in all 22 over on Kick this week. But yeah, I mean, he played a little bit. I get what you're saying, though. He didn't, and I actually like that though, because they stood by their belief in Kendrick, and I thought he looked a lot better than he did last year. He still has his hits and misses, but I was impressed, and so I'm glad they stuck by him. Now, looking at the 49ers game, and I'm going to bring on somebody here in a sec, but looking at the 49ers game, Germ, what are your thoughts going in that game? Do you think the Rams win that game? Like, where are you on that?
Oh, if we play like we played today, it would be close, but we would still manage to pull it out.
So you think they do win it?
But just yes, but it's close to like a field goal.
So I thought this was going to be a shootout. I had 34-31. I didn't expect this Seahawks offense, with all the names that we've talked about, to be held to that, right? I just didn't see it. And it was good to see. I can tell you that much. I was very happy to see that. So you think it'll be close. Any final thoughts before I move on to our next guest?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Donald is still the greatest defensive player in the league right now.
Absolutely.
Because he's my favorite player. That's it.
No, he was unreal. He really was. He is always unreal. This is the least talented edge room he's had to deal with, and I think he's, making the most of it. And I'll just say this, Chris Jones, they lost by what? A point? 2 points? I didn't remember what the score was, but Kansas City barely lost. If Chris Jones is in there, maybe it's a different game. AD, he's not going anywhere. He's still the number one defensive lineman. Chris Jones is not there yet. 21-20. Thanks, Jack. And CJ, thank you so much for the follow. But yeah, he's not going anywhere. But anyway, Germ, appreciate you. I know you were hanging around the kick last night, so I appreciate that as well. And I'll see you around, man.
Appreciate you too, man.
Absolutely.
12-5.
12-5. Hey, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm on your side. I have 10-7, but I certainly think it's possible. Nephron X, thank you so much for the follow. Germ, I'll see you in the next one.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. All right, guys. So I am going to bring on another guest here. Ayek97. Sorry if I butchered that name. How you doing, man?
Hello?
You there? I cannot hear you if you're talking.
My bad. My mic was muted.
Oh, okay. How's it going?
Good. How are you doing, Jake?
I'm good, man. We just saw a pretty fun game, I would say. That was probably the most fun I've had watching football since, man, I don't know.
Probably the Raiders game. With the bigger Raiders
yeah,
game.
but I think just the collective, it was such a creative, it was such a creative game play calling wise on the offensive side and somewhat defensive. I'd say that was the best game I've seen since Kansas played in Arkansas in the Liberty Bowl. That was like the one football game recently that was not recently, that was like January. But that's the last time I felt that like, ooh, this is fun. Like I'm having a good time. This was fun. This was so fun. And, I think when you look at the preseason and everything, it's just, and Hilltop, thank you so much for the 5. I'll read that in a sec. But when you look at the preseason, it's like all these people were so concerned. And I kept saying, I'm like, there's not really any starters playing. I mean, there's a few, but it's not like the whole starters are going. They're going to be okay. So to see him come out and just kick Seattle in the teeth, that was enjoyable.
I mean, yeah. I think the general public kind of really did not think that this Rams team was competitive at all. Everyone was counting Matthew Stafford out. Saying Aaron Donald is not the greatest anymore. I mean, Cooper Kupp got hurt, so that makes it even worse. But, a lot of people that aren't Rams fans, they're not paying attention to Rams news when it comes to training camp and practices and preseason. So they're not hearing all this stuff like Matthew Stafford feels the best he ever has, or at least in a really long time. McVay saying that he thinks they're going to be better than everyone thinks. And, all this stuff that's coming out from the Rams side. Not a lot of people know about it, and now they know. They see Puka Nacua, 5th round pick, tearing it up. Tutu Atwell, he tore it up too. I mean, the offense as a whole looked really nice, and I was surprised. I was a little surprised how good the connection between Stafford and Puka and Stafford and Tutu was. I know they practiced a lot, but they didn't get any preseason action. Puka did a little bit, but not with Stafford. And week 1 is usually when things look a bit rusty. But I think this Rams team, the first quarter, I'd say, looked a little iffy, especially the defense. But that first drive was really nice, and then we just got going. It looked really good, and I was very happy to see that.
Absolutely. I thought it was so much fun. I thought this was, and it's funny, I said this during the game when I was watching it with family and my friend, and it's weird to say because they won a Super Bowl that year, but this offense feels more creative than that offense. Like, I was genuinely enjoying the creativity of this offense more than the Super Bowl offense. Now, I will say this. I think the thing that made this offense look so creative was the inclusion of Kyren Williams. It added an Energizer Bunny to the mix. It's just the fact that, like, the way they used him, the spots they used him in, the motioning of Tutu Atwell, like, they brought the motions back. Like, they had that when Sean McVay first took over. They were using a lot of that. They didn't use many end arounds, and they tried some trick plays. I know they tried that
the flea flicker. Yeah, Stafford
man.
threw that away immediately. Man, that was scary. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
When I saw that happen.
How about that pass protection though? It was crazy.
Yeah, I was very happy with the pass protection. I'm sure all Rams fans were. I'm not super familiar with Seattle, like how Seattle it looks to other people with their D-line. Would you say this is a case of the Rams pass protection like being truly elite, or is the Seattle pass rush like really bad? Because if they're really bad, I didn't know that.
I think Seattle's pass rush is pretty solid. I don't think it's elite, but I think it's pretty solid. They have a lot of those guys that, like, they sneak up on you. First off, I mean, Uchenna Nwosu. I don't know where you're located, but I know a lot of the USC fans know who he is. I've been a fan of his since he came out of the draft, and the Chargers just didn't know how to use him because they were using him as an off-ball linebacker. And Slim, thank you for the follow. And Seattle was like, hey, why don't we use him as an edge defender like he should be used? And sure enough, that's what they did. And it worked out incredibly well for him. And so that's been the thing, And so I think he really came on strong last year. He broke out. You have Darrell Taylor, Derek Hall, who they got in the second round this year. So they have some guys who can definitely rush the passer. It's not just some team with nobodies. They have a way better edge room than the Rams do. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think it was like, I know I'm not trying to say like, okay, like I don't want to discredit them because that comes off as like I'm trying to avoid discrediting them. But in reality,
yeah, like how DK discredited us.
Yeah, but I don't think you can really discredit this offensive line because I thought they blocked extremely well in pass pro. I think the only thing is the run game was a little concerning.
Yeah, the run game. I think when Cam was in the first, I'd say 2 quarters, the run game was a bit not great. Kyren really had some really nice runs, especially those 2 touchdowns. I am definitely interested in watching the film. I don't know when it comes out with NFL Plus, but because I know in past they run a lot of duo and they run a lot of that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I don't think they ran as much duo. I think it looked more like inside zone, but I have to take a look at it and see how the O-line did in terms of run blocking. Just so I have it correct, the O-line was Alaric Jackson at the left, then Avila left guard, Shelton at the center. Right guard was Noteboom, and right tackle was Havenstein, right? That's
correct. And I was so glad to see Shelton in there. It's nothing against Brian Allen. Shelton's the better player.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I saw a Raiders like beat writer saying Brian Allen looked like insane in practice, but I don't know. I was a little surprised that in my mind I thought it was going to be the last year thing where we had Brian Allen at center and then Shelton at right guard. But
I was praying that wasn't the case because you lose your right guard and your center, and now you're down in your third string center. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, this line looked great. I was very happy and a little surprised at how good Noteboom did at right guard because he was having a little bit of problems with the transition in preseason, but he looked really good. And I'm definitely looking forward to, like I said, watching the film to seeing how these guys really stacked up and what to expect next week against San Francisco, who I think has a much better D line.
Yeah, they definitely do. San Francisco also has a much better offensive line. And this edge room, it took both tackles to go down for them to start finally getting through. So I am concerned about the edge room. That didn't go away. That was just further proven my point. And look, there are already people that are down on like Maher. Maher had a blocked kick, and then he had the distance for that 57 yards. Like, Tanner Brown couldn't even hit that, like, with distance. So they went out and got a guy essentially that can actually hit those field goals with distance, and he just missed it. He pushed it a little bit to the right, and then he made 2 in a row after that. So I don't know, but what are your thoughts going into the 49er game before I hand it off to someone else, just because I'm trying to get through with everyone?
I don't. So I went before this game against Seattle. I was really sure we were going to win because no one expected us to win. This game, I think it's hard against the Niners. It's hard to predict us winning since we've lost like 50,000 times in a row. Besides the championship game, but I think this is the first time in a while against the 49ers where we're viewed as like severe true underdogs, because all the past few times that, every time we've lost, it's been either even or like they had like CJ Beathard in or something. So I think this team is going to really put in a lot more effort than usual. And McVay is going to pull out all the stops, being creative as possible. I don't think the Niners are going to have an answer for both Puka and Tutu yet, because they're two new guys, I predict that the Rams will win by like a single possession, and it's going to come to like the very end, because we're at home and we got to continue that underdog mentality of like, yeah, no one expects us to win, but we're going to start beating all these guys, and if we lose, it's going to be a close game too. That's what I think is going to happen.
That's interesting. So you have them going 2-0, taking down San Francisco.
Yeah, but like I said, it's going to be really close. I would split it. Like we could easily lose too, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout either way at all. I mean, Niners fans probably think they're going to beat us like 49-6. So
yeah. No.
So I'm definitely looking forward to the game. It's gonna be a good one.
No, I am too. It'll be the first time the Rams have seen Brock Purdy, believe it or not. That's pretty crazy to think about, but
that's right. Yeah, because last year it was Jimmy G, wasn't it?
It was the first time Seattle saw Aaron Donald and Stafford in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it was the first time Aaron Donald got to sack Gino.
Yeah. So
yeah, maybe he'll sack Purdy next week, and like you said too, with the edges, it's pretty concerning, especially with the 49ers offensive line. But hopefully, the ending there where Brian Young got a sack, and hopefully that just kind of adds to his confidence, and he's able to perform like that against McGlinchey. Is it, or is it?
McGlinchey is on the Broncos now, I think. So the 49ers, I believe it's Colton McKivitz at right tackle. Okay. Yeah, West Virginia.
We'll see.
Yeah.
And then Aaron Donald, if he beats a triple team. I mean,
yeah.
So, but yeah, it was good talking to you, Jake.
Absolutely. Good talking with you as well. Feel free to come by anytime. I do this pretty much anytime I go JE Live now. We open it up to call-ins and whatnot, and I think it goes pretty well, right? I mean, it's pretty painless. So
yeah, it seems pretty good so far.
Yeah, so far so good. I haven't had any issues except you, because you muted your mic, man. No.
my mic where the voice goes in, if you push it, it mutes it, and I accidentally pushed it, like adjusting it.
Dude, I've been there. I've been there, done that. I get it. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah. All right, go Rams.
Go Rams. You take care.
You too.
All right. I don't know exactly who got in first here, but I do believe Ashton was next, and then Swizzleberry also was here. So I'm gonna try it because it doesn't really. I don't like how it doesn't keep an order. But Ashton, welcome. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, man. Did you? Okay. You're last, Swizzleberry. Got it. Okay. I just wanted to be sure. So did you enjoy the game? I assume you did, but I figured I'd ask.
I mean, anytime the Rams win, it's pretty enjoyable. It does help, Tutu and our rookie, Puka kind of went off. And I know you were surprised last time we talked when I said I thought Puka was going to surprise a lot of people and have a bigger role than people expected. And I'm very happy to see that Sean McVay thought he was worth it.
Yeah.
From that in the game plan.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, I opened up the show. I was just like, I was wrong about Puka Nacua. Not that I didn't think he was capable of this. Just thought it was a little early, just because the way Sean McVay uses rookie receivers. But was not wrong about Tutu Atwell. What did you think about his performance?
No, I thought Tutu showed a lot of strides. I pretty much noticed on a lot of their media that Tutu looked a little bit bigger and like he did build some mass over the offseason. And I think that's going to have a lot of benefits for him, especially when it comes to getting tackled, not getting hurt by the safeties. His route running looks pretty solid. And, if anything, he should have had more plays. I thought Stafford, while he was very good, I think he's getting warmed up, getting back in game shape. And I thought he kind of overthrew some wide receivers and had some slight misses. And I feel like in 3 or 4 games, he's going to be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. I really do believe that, the way he came out of this game.
See, that's scary because I thought he looked unbelievable. And that's the thing. If he hits Puka Nacua there, I mean, it's just, we're talking 37-13. We're talking Stafford, over 400 yards, and Nacua at 200 or not 200, 140 or something. I mean, I agree with you. I think Stafford was incredible in my opinion, but as time goes on, he's only going to get better. And that's an exciting thing. I mean, I think he's, if it's not Hurts, it's him as the best quarterback in the NFC. I don't think there's anybody remotely close. I don't think Jared Goff is on his level. I don't think Dak's on his level. I don't think any of them are on his level, really. I think the only one you could argue is Jalen Hurts. That's it. Money, thank you so much for the follow and kick. Sorry about that, Ashton. What were you saying?
I was going to say also my boy Darion Kendrick. I know a lot of people in the fan base were selling on him, selling Kendrick stock. And I told people, be patient, be patient. He has a lot of good instincts. He knows how to read plays, but he hasn't connected it all last year. And I feel like people are starting to see that more and more. He went toe-to-toe with DK. Now, did he win every rep? No. DK is going to get his he's a number 1 wide receiver. But I really thought for his first time covering a number 1 wide receiver like that, I thought he did fantastic, and he kind of earned his role in this defense.
Yeah. I mean, I thought, so Bleacher Report needs me to do a format style of winners and losers. And so since I couldn't really think of too many losers, I said, Kendrick to a degree because of the giving up the touchdown, but I felt bad because I was like, I actually thought he played pretty decently. It's just the reason I said loser, and I think I justified it on the live stream, is that look, he's going to be labeled as that. And as soon as you give up a touchdown like that, where you're burnt off the TV, then in comes, Travius Tomlinson, because that's the thing is you give an inch and it's he's right on your, he's right on you essentially. So Yeah, I think that's a good point. I thought he surprised me, actually. I thought he looked a lot better. Another guy I thought looked a lot better was Ernest Jones. Now, he comes from the school that you like. What did you think about Ernest Jones?
Yeah, I mean, I said on the day draft, people were like hating, thought we should have got other linebackers. And I said, this kid, after watching him play at South Carolina for 3 years, he knows how to track the ball. He has great instincts, great with his hands. And like, I think you saw all that. He has grown as a pass rusher, which is what I would say was his weakness coming into the NFL. And being able to play, especially run defense, he's grown even more since the college days. And I'm just happy to see the Rams invest in that position, and they're paying dividends. And it sucks that we lost Bobby Wagner, but you can definitely see an imprint of kind of the style of linebacker that Bobby Wagner is. And I'm not saying Ernest Jones is Bobby, but what I'm saying is he's taking some of those tools and techniques and being able to blend it with his own game, which is what all the great players do. And he's only going to get better from here, Jake.
I absolutely agree with you. And on that note, Hilltop, thank you so much for the 5 from earlier. I wanted to mention this. Jake, got to give Wags credit. 9 solo tackles, 10 assisted. Wow, the old man is ageless. He really is. And, you know, I think the way the Rams used him last year is a big reason why Seattle went out and got him, because he got hurt his last year in Seattle. And Seattle's like, he's not really a fit anymore for us. We'll move on. And then, you know, the Rams kind of showed them like, hey, this guy can still ball, you know, and he can still move around, and he could still, you know, play around the line of scrimmage and make these tackles and, you know, defend. And, you know, that's why they decided to bring him back. Matthew, thank you for the 5. Appreciate you. I think Jake said our competitors aren't as down on our team like the media. We aren't world beaters, but we have a scrappy bunch. Thank you so much, Matthew, for the donation. What I'll say about this is I've heard, and I don't know if you've heard this, but I've been told this by a few people, you know, insiders, whatever. The Rams are being respected more than it by like their peers, their teams, their executives, than the media is respecting them. And I think that's the thing going into week 1. There's all of this, you know, what if this or what if that? And they're trying to, like, obviously sell you on the news. It's clickbait, you know, all that doesn't fit their narrative. But they're saying something in this way, and there are people that are following and listening, and they're agreeing. So then they go out and they repeat it to somebody else, when in reality, the people that are close to the vest, that are in that league circle, are looking at the team and they're like, I don't know, man. I would not go against Sean McVay. It is a really interesting thing here. All right. So anyway, Ashton, last question here. What are your thoughts going into week 2 against the 49ers?
Well, when we last talked, I was very much of the point of view, like there were a lot of question marks that I didn't know the answers to. And it was kind of like a big gray area for me. They gave me some answers with this game. Now, I do think we still lose in week 2 against 49ers. I think we lose a close game by like 5 points. But I definitely think when this team gets Cooper Kupp back, this is a team that can compete with the best teams in the league. Honestly, this offense can. I do have issues with the run defense and the run offense. Those are going to have to get worked out, Jake, because we will not be able to face top-tier teams without having a better run, especially a better run defense. I think we can get away with a lackluster run offense as long as we keep on doing screens, quick outs, a lot of stuff like that. Sean McVay has gotten used to not having a great run game. But if that can grow the offense to top 5, possibly top 10, you know, around there. But that run defense, it has to get shored up, man, or it's going to be a long season. We're going to let up a lot of yards. We got kind of lucky that Seattle went away from it in the second quarter, in the third quarter, and we started to go away and they had to pass. Because our secondary looks great, and I think people weren't giving that roster enough credit, and Les Snead enough credit for building a fantastic secondary, and I think they kind of proved it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really agree with you with the 49ers because it's, and I don't know exactly what the final score prediction will be. I'll save that for a podcast that I do, but you know, I can't help but think they're going to be in that game and showing us what they can be, but I think it's too early to win that game because the 49ers team I saw today, like, you're not going to be able to run on that defense. They couldn't run on Seattle today. You're going to be able to throw, but then, you know, how are you going to stop Christian McCaffrey? I think that's the thing that concerns me the most is that, you know, you essentially have Christian McCaffrey to worry about, running the ball, stopping him, and then you have to worry about establishing your own run game. And I just think that, you know, whether they switch to Kyron Williams full time, I don't know, but I think they're going to have to, they're definitely going to have to establish the run if they want to win that game.
So the Steelers struggled to stop the run, and I would say they have one of the best run defenses and most proven over the last 3 years of the NFL.
Yeah, they have a great defense, and they got eviscerated. That frightens me because, like, the 49ers went on the road and did that. So, you know, it is week one. Stranger things have happened. But at the same time, I don't know. I will say this, though. I think it's more realistic that the Rams win against Seattle was not a fluke, and the 49ers blowout of the Steelers might have been a fluke, more of a fluke, because it just, they never got going. They threw an interception early on. It snowballed. My point is, I'm not saying either are, but if we were going to say one of them had to be more of a fluke than the other, it would be the 49er win going on the road against the Steelers, who I think are better than what they showed. Whereas the Rams, I think, are the better team, like when it comes to Seattle. I've said that. So,
well, the Rams are definitely a better offense than the Steelers, in my opinion, right now. You got a better QB. I think the wide receiver weapons are equal without Kupp in the lineup. I think with Kupp, we definitely have better wide receivers. Better tight end group right now. Freiermuth's really good, but he's still growing. So,
yeah, no, I agree with that. So, yeah, final thoughts before I send it over to someone else.
Yeah, a solid win. I think people need to still not overcorrect. Like you said, has a lot of weird stuff happen. I think it's another data point for a lot of these players. I think it's a good step forward. Defense and the offense are going to have to fix a few things if they want to be contenders this year. And I think we all can agree without remedying some of those, we're not going to make a deep playoff run. I think this team, from what they have shown me, they fulfilled some of those question marks. I think they're going to be good enough to be in the playoffs. Question is, can they be good enough to win games in the playoffs? And we'll see. We'll see if they grow and if these rookies, if the edge can get better. And if they win enough games, expect this GM and front office to make moves. I definitely think you should expect that.
All right, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you stopping by, and I'm glad you were able to enjoy what was a fun, NFL Sunday. And we'll get back after it. You have a podcast if you want to plug that. There's a lot of people in here right now, so I think that would go over pretty well.
Yeah, me and my co-host, we do a podcast every week called East Coast Rams. We try to bring on a bunch of different guests every so often and have fun reacting to the games, give our analysts. It's a podcast by fans for fans. And, love what you're doing, Jake, and thank you for letting me plug. It's good to vent. Vent when you're losing and why I created my podcast, but also, like you, when you win, you're just pumped and you're like, oh man, I need to just talk about this. because that was
Yeah.
so awesome.
No, absolutely. We get passionate, man. Well, yeah, everyone definitely be sure to check that out after we're done here. Appreciate you as always, Ashton.
It's on.
Oh.
It's on YouTube and every podcast app. But thank you, Jake, and thanks everyone for listening.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You have a good one.
You too.
Thank you. All right. We're going to bring in a friend of mine, Will. How you doing, my guy?
Yo, Jake, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How's it going?
I'm good, man. I'm good, bro. How are you, man?
Oh, you know, I'm great. I'm great. I mean, you were in the stream I saw, so I think you have an idea. Before I get into that, Craig, thank you so much for the 20, man. Really appreciate you. Fun day. You rock, Jake. You rock too, Craig. All right. How's it going, Will? What did you think about that game, man?
Dude, yeah, man. Well, it was a lot of fun, obviously. A couple of things that stood out to me. First of all, I love that we're finally playing tight coverage on the outside. That was probably the biggest thing that stuck out to me. I feel like the last 2 years having Raheem Morris, me and a lot of Rams fans, I feel like we would get frustrated that our corners would be playing so off. Like sometimes they'd start like 7 to 10 yards off the receiver. So I love that we're playing tight coverage now, and I think it's working well for us. I thought Darion Kendrick looked really good, even though there was a couple penalties he had. Like the thing that matters to me most is he had, he was tight, he was sticky in coverage, and I just feel like if he can clean up those mental things, like I think he ran through Lockett a little early on one of those where he was already in good position anyway. But I liked what I saw from the DBs. That was surprising. And then just the defense in general, like the second half was so different from the first half. Like we just stepped up so much defensively in the second half. So that was awesome to see. And then the other thing too is I feel like Cooper Kupp being hurt was actually kind of like a blessing in disguise, because I just feel like it let the other young receivers get so many reps and so much experience. Like obviously you're not going to see 10 catches from Puka and Tutu also having 100 yards in the same game, I don't think, if Kupp was on the field. So I actually feel like if there was a really big benefit to that. And now I feel like when Kupp gets back, they're just all going to be they're all just going to be ready to go. So man, I don't know, there's a lot of good things. The only thing my only complaint in the whole game was probably the run game. Still doesn't look very good to me, but yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts on anything I just said?
Yeah, it was a lot. Look,
I know, I'm excited, bro.
I know, I can hear it. I love it. You know what I'm gonna say? You've played Madden before, right?
Yeah.
You've played franchise mode.
Yeah.
You know how it has. This is the best way I can explain this. I think it's gonna get through everyone's head if it didn't already. When you have a really good game with a player, and you level up, you move up an overall, you move up a rating after the game.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm saying, or what I'm getting at here, is to your point, Puka Nacua and Tutu Atwell had a really good game. They moved up a rating. Maybe 2, maybe 3. And it's banked. They got better. It made them better players. So, basically what I'm saying is that by them playing, to your point, with Kupp out, and this is what I've been saying, is by them playing, they are now better players tomorrow than they were before that game. And
absolutely,
Cooper Kupp's still Cooper Kupp. So when he comes back, you have 98 overall Cooper Kupp, and they put Tutu Atwell at like a 71. So let's just say he goes up to like a 70. Realistically, he's probably a 77, right? So he goes up, Puka Nacua goes up, and it makes their team better. TJ says minus Jefferson 10. That's brutal. That's brutal. So to your point, now it's like that's banked, man. That's what they are. And that's what this experience is. And that's what I've been saying. And that's why I backed Ben Skoranek when everyone, their mother wanted to cut him. For no reason, by the way. They wanted to cut him because of the Super Bowl. I'm like, Ben Skoranek has seen Super Bowl and multiple playoff game experience as a 7th round rookie. Like, that's unheard of. And it's unheard of for like a 5th round wide receiver like Nakua to have 10 catches for over 110 yards. That's unheard of. That hasn't happened since Allen Hurns when he was a rookie on Jacksonville. So, I mean, they might have something special there, but the point is it makes it better, right? Makes them better.
Yeah.
And now when Kupp comes back, they're better players. So now the Rams are better than they would have been had Kupp been healthy week 1. Kind of crazy to think about.
No, I completely agree.
So, yeah, that's what I was saying. But and to your point there, but yeah, you know, I think with that, I think with the run game, Seattle sold out to stop the run, man. Like I don't know. That's the weird thing is like things were answered today. The run game is now a question mark that we didn't know ahead of time. Because it's like, was Seattle really that good at stopping the run? Did they just sell out and load the box? What happened there? You know, and there's no way for us to really know until we move forward week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, and we find out, can this team run the ball or not? Is this a run blocking issue? Is this a runner issue? I mean, you know, I hate to say it, but like, and I like Cam Akers, but it's like, man, he had an awful game statistically. So it's like, is that Cam Akers? Because, I mean, Kyron Williams was good. We liked what we got out of him. At the same time, he had a 3.5 yards per carry average. So he wasn't, like, as efficient, you know? But is it him doing the most of what he can with what he had? Like, what is it? And so I think that's one of the big question marks I don't think we knew that we had coming in. And then the one that we did know that we had coming in, the big question mark for the Rams was, of course, the edge room, which I'm sorry. There's going to be a pass rusher they trade for at the deadline. There's going to. No doubt. I don't know who it'll be, but yeah. But yeah, Will, final thoughts before I let you go here. 49ers game. Where are you on that?
I mean, I'll just be honest and I'll be short. I think it's a loss. They've had our number in the regular season for a couple years now. I saw what they did to Pittsburgh. We don't know whether Kupp's going to be back. And I'll just be honest. I think it's a loss, and I don't think that means, you know, we should be upset or anything. We lost to them twice the year we won the Super Bowl. But, yeah, that's my honest opinion. I think that's a loss. It's going to be a tough game.
I agree. It's going to be very tough. I'm leaning towards a loss, although I think I had them winning that game in my first prediction. But I don't know. It just feels like it's going to align however it aligns, but I just kind of get the feeling like this will be a game where they still show you that they're better than people thought when they're in that game late in the game, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, if it's a close game, even a close loss, I'll be really encouraged because I just feel like the 49ers they're already clicking. You know, they're just picking back up where they left off of last year, but I feel like the Rams were just, you know, there's a lot of new pieces, obviously, so we're still growing a lot. So if that game's close, then I'll be really encouraged. Yeah,
exactly. You just want to see consistency. You want to see fight, and you want to see it be close. So, yeah, that's what I'll say. But, hey, Will, thank you so much for hopping on, and I'll see you in another one probably pretty soon, I'd imagine.
Yep. Yes, sir. Sounds good, Jake. Cheers, boys. Go Rams.
Absolutely. Take care, Will.
Yeah, great, Jake.
All right. We got... How's it going, Chacho?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. Just, actually, there's a lot. I mean, I've just been streaming all day, essentially. But I took a 4-hour, 3-hour break to watch the Rams with family and friends, and it's good. We're good in here. How you doing?
I'm doing great. My Cowboys are destroying the Giants right now. We're up 26-zip.
Yeah, I see that. So did you get a chance to catch the Rams game at all?
No, I don't get it here
Mm-hmm.
in El Paso because I wish we did, but no. I saw the highlights and I was happy for your team that they won.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. Now, question for you. You saw the 49ers, I assume.
Yes.
What do you think about the Rams and 49ers next week?
To be honest, that's going to be a tough game, a tough one. If your defense can play good as they did this week, I think they have a chance to win. And if your quarterback, of course, doesn't make any mistakes, your team still has a chance to win. But the 49ers, I don't know. They look good today, so it's going to be a struggle, I think.
They did. And, you know, Chacha, I haven't really watched the Cowboys game, and I don't know if I'm going to be doing a watch party for it because we're just kind of rolling right now with this. But for people that didn't see it, including myself, what are we missing here? Is this a defensive showdown? Because it looks...
Yes, my defense has blocked a field goal. They got a touchdown. Then the kicker missed the extra point. We've got interceptions. The Giants could have scored a field goal, but he whiffed it to the left. He just it went to the left. Nope, no good. My defense has sacked him at least 5 to 6 times. So it's kind of a blowout. I was like, dang, this is not even a good game. I thought it would be better, but my Cowboys always have the Giants' number.
Yeah, I thought the Giants were going to win, so it doesn't appear that's going to happen.
I heard you pick the Giants over my Cowboys. Like, Jake, no, that's a big mistake. Oh, but it is raining, so my quarterback has like a 70.8 for like the rating, and then poor Jones has like 12.2 rating.
Oh Lord, so it's not good for him.
No, it's not good. But
okay.
I mean, some of the receivers have dropped the ball and not caught the ball, so I don't know. It's just a weird game. I'm happy though.
I hear you. Hey, real quick before I let you go, any final thoughts on NFL Sunday?
Of course, I'm going to say the refs suck.
They do.
They miss a lot of calls.
Mm.
And what the Seahawks dude should be suspended. He does his cheap shots all the time. I don't understand why the NFL doesn't do anything to him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I think he got into a little scuffle last year against the Rams. They didn't do anything, so I don't know. It's cool that you think that as well. But hey, man, I appreciate you hopping on, and you know, I'll see you in the next one probably.
Okay, I will be in the chat again.
Sounds good.
See you later, Ram fans. How about my Cowboys?
They're looking good. I'll give you that.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely. You take care.
You too. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Swizzleberry. Good Lord. Oh my God. What the?
Well, hey, in the name of Kirk Cousins, you like that?
Oh my God. I've never even heard of that. I'm going to have to clip that. Oh yeah. I bring this guy on and he freaking gifts me again. I was going to thank you, call you the legend for gifting, and then you gifted more. I was like, good Lord. Oh, how you doing, man?
Also, I need to tell you thank you. I mean, as far as for all the content throughout the years, I mean, I've been watching you since 2021. So I appreciate the content. Appreciate you doing what you do. It is very helpful to have someone who actually understands what's going on with this team.
I try.
As a point, like I mentioned, I watch the Around the NFL Network, which is like, or Around the NFL podcast, which you look at, okay, Mark Sessler, and was very negative on the.
Oh, you saw what I said about him?
Oh yeah, but I also listened to what he said on the last podcast for the week 1 preview. Like,
I don't know how you think that they're gonna lose 35-10.
The utter insanity of the narrative, and I'm happy it's probably going to be over, or they're going to say this is a one-hit wonder week, is the Cardinals are tanking and the Rams are somehow worse without even trying.
Yep.
Like,
It makes sense.
One. Like
it I don't even know. I don't even know. I just don't even know what to say to it. It's just bizarre, man. It's really bizarre because it's just like, what's up, Dirty? How you doing? Yeah, it's really bizarre because it just seems like they're just now just throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. And like, what are they gonna do after this? Oh, well, maybe Seattle's not that good. Actually, that's exactly what they're gonna do because they did it back in, man, I don't even remember. I did a video. No, it was 2020 when the Rams won. They beat Seattle. It was one of my first videos. They said, is Seattle in trouble? They didn't give credit to the Rams, who were all of a sudden they were right in the thick of the playoff race.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, maybe Seattle's not that good.
Yeah, it's going to be any given Sunday, any team can beat any team. Type of Monday. But here's something cool. I actually wrote down these things were the key points of the game that I saw that I absolutely loved. And number 1, we had 0 sacks and only 2 QB hits, which I don't remember seeing.
Yeah, I mean, they were probably so late. They probably should have been late calls. They probably shouldn't even count as quarterback hits.
Like,
I mean,
I'm surprised because it almost looks like, it feels like Stafford probably forgot what a clean pocket was after last year.
Yeah.
And it looked beautiful. Like, he had space to work around. He was able to climb up into the pocket, make a comfortable throw. It was impressive Seattle, maybe not the best pass rush in the league, but they're pretty solid. They're no joke.
Yeah.
And they were able to hold their own. I was very impressed by our offensive line. That was by far, I think, the best outcome we could have had for the offensive line.
I agree. I think there were so many people that felt like this offensive line was just terrible. And I couldn't understand why. I'm like, have you been following? Like, I don't really understand. I mean, the reason they were bad last year is because of injury. And then when people say they didn't have depth, it's like, no. Depth, do you know most teams in the league carry 8 to 9 offensive linemen? Depth isn't, oh, my 13th offensive lineman that's starting now is bad. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
That's past depth. Depth is the first 8 to 9 guys. You know, like,
exactly.
I mean, that's like saying, oh, my depth at running back just isn't good, and it's like you're on your 7th starting running back. That's not depth. That's not depth. The guy wasn't on the roster 2 weeks ago, and now you're trying to tell me that they have no depth. And it's like, I hear that all the time. The Rams have no depth. It's like, do you even know what depth is? Like, what?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
You have, for basketball, you have over 10 people on the active roster, and there's only 5 people playing at a time. Like, you could replace your team fully and then a little bit. In football, you can't do that. Not at every position. Like, the roster size is just not available.
By the way, fun fact, real quick. I just saw one of the people you gifted a sub to is literally like my account. Like,
that's great.
I didn't even know that was possible. That's great. Oh,
I saw one was Downtown Rams too.
That was when I was considering making pursuing a Downtown Rams kick. I probably will just stick to one. It's not like YouTube. It's a grind to get those followers and to get, I don't have to tell you that. You've been there. But
well, that's also partly like, hey, when I see 50, 60 people watching on Kick, is like, I wonder if I can mess with the algorithm a little bit by dropping subs in and see if that helps.
Yeah. No, I feel that, and I appreciate that.
Test it out and see if it works. I mean, if I can help push the momentum further, that'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
But-
it's I'm really really curious to see how the all 22 the all 22 live streams go now, because it's in the middle of the year, you know.
Yep.
So
And that's the thing.
That's the thing.
I mean, it's been said for a while. Once we hit the season, like that's when things are going to get a lot more traction.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, man, we ended on a good note, or started on a good note.
Yes. It's a lot
Yeah, like-
easier to get people excited about something when you're 1-0 and you win in a blowout, as opposed to 0-1 and losing a blowout.
Yeah. And then, how about this? And a couple other people have already mentioned this. How about Raheem Morris having his training wheels off and really scheming up a good, solid defense to just frustrate the heck out of Seattle?
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Like, it was fun because, like, I'm looking at it like the last couple of years he ran a different style of defense than I was used to him running. And that's where it's like, okay, now it's kind of get to see him, still have that style, but blend in what he's good at. And I think he's going to probably do really well with this young group. And I'm so excited to watch the defense.
I just love it as a Raheem Morris like defender, like watching.
I'm a
him-
big fan. I'm so partially insulted for him of like, how the hell is this guy not a head coach?
Oh, I know. Well, yeah, I know. I agree with you there. And sorry, I have something in my eye, and I've been just trying to deal with it while I'm talking to you.
Okay, sorry.
But I don't know where it came from, but it's like burning. But yeah, I think the thing about Raheem Morris is that there's no excuses here. Like, he didn't make any excuses. He hasn't walked anything back. He knows he's dealing with a lesser talented roster on paper than he had last year. And man, that defense, I'm not saying they looked amazing because there was like hardly any edge rush. But like,
Right.
just imagine if they get an edge defender, like a legit edge defender, how good that defense could be. Because that was like my biggest concern. I mean, the secondary, they did their part. I thought the secondary was good.
Yep.
You do
They
what you
just
can. You
need-
hold DK Metcalf to 47 yards. You won the game. You know?
And that's the thing, is that you held the coverage was there to where Geno Smith was not throwing the ball fast.
Yeah.
The problem is, why is it 3-4 seconds and Geno Smith is still standing up?
Exactly. And that's where, if I had another edge defender or two, that doesn't happen. And it's not
Yeah.
just having a guy. It's like going out and getting somebody. Like, I
Yeah.
would have loved to see him go out and get Jacob Martin from the Texans, because he's a scheme fit. He's a little under the radar, but like, he's a solid player. Like, he would have been better than Michael Hoyt. Michael Hoyt is not a fit. I don't even know why they're throwing him out there. Because he now has to cover guys like DK Metcalf, and he made a huge play and they called it pass interference. But for the most part, he's just not a fit. You don't want 300-pound Michael Hoyt covering tight ends and covering wide receivers,
And that play alone, you see Michael Hoyt do a play that corners do every down.
Yeah.
Like, you have a slant route, there's always the hand on the back hip, jump in front, and your inside hand swings to swat the ball away.
Oh, always.
And he didn't turn the hips. There wasn't any like change of direction. DK still had both his hands on the ball. It was just, I don't know why that was ever called. And then they later on missed the contact for Tutu going out on a corner route.
Yeah.
And I'm just, or like, I was floored at the rest at that point. And then towards the end is like, okay, I don't have any room to complain, because Seattle started picking up penalties left and right.
Like, it's just, man, when I'm watching the game, it just seemed like the Rams did such a nice job. I'm glad McVay spoke up, by the way, about the whole thing with DK.
Yeah.
He's like, get him out of there. Like, I love that. I love seeing that fire from the head coach, because, I mean, they got kind of screwed earlier on a few calls. The Kobe Durant one was insane. He had, Stafford had Atwell with the deep skinny post, and guy grabs Atwell almost by the face mask. Totally didn't get called.
Yeah.
I mean, that's illegal contact at the very least. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe even PI, but I'll take illegal contact, the automatic first down. But they did that like multiple times, doesn't get called. Then the Rams breathe on a guy and it was like flag. And it's like, oh, come on. Like if you're gonna throw the flag, okay, like be consistent though.
Yeah, and that's the thing that we are all complaining about as fans, is it's not like I don't want the calls to go against me and I want them to go against the other team. It's just I want to be able to see a play and know, okay, that is a foul or that's not a foul.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Well,
I don't want to look at something and go, well, on this day with this ref, if it's sunny, but the ground is wet, then that's a foul. Like,
oh my God, I know. And you know, it's Sean Smith. First off, like he's the I don't know if you remember him. He was the head referee when Jared Goff threw the incomplete pass in Pittsburgh, and he just let the play go, and Minka Fitzpatrick took it back for a touchdown. Everyone's kind of sitting there like, they really called that a fumble? I mean, he like clearly threw it past the first down marker. Like Goff did not fumble that football, and it didn't look relatively close, and they kept the play going. That Sean Smith's crew. So then Sean Smith today, the one that really bothered me was it was called back, but even still it bothered me because he didn't blow the play dead and risked a bunch of injuries on a meaningless down.
oh, on the punt.
Not the punt. It was the
Okay.
It was the Atwell reverse when he fell. So like the ball hits the ground. He hits the ground. He bounces off the ground a couple times. Then the ball comes out. So it's not even close. And then you have the announcers going, and they're not blowing this dead. It's a live ball. He's going down the sideline. And you're like, what? How?
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? That's such a player safety risk. Because you have a play that's going, like, it's not even close. Like, if you want to not blow a play dead because you don't want to ruin, like, in case it is true, you don't want to ruin the outcome, like, fine, but at least have it be something that's bang bang. Like, don't, like, that wasn't bang bang. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, it's not bang bang when Tutu Atwell is bouncing off the ground twice and then sliding and then the ball comes out.
Yeah. And then I was having a very similar reaction at the punt when all of a sudden the ball's punted. It touches the end zone. Blow it dead. It touched the end zone.
Oh, yes. Risk further injury.
And then still going. And then all of a sudden people are diving on the ball and there's a scrum in the end zone. It's like the play was dead 5 seconds ago.
Yeah. And I don't want guys getting hurt over that. Like, you know how pissed I would have been if Ben Skoranek got injured on some stupid play because the ref didn't just blow it dead?
Like, it's a touchback no matter what happens because the ball touched the end zone. Like, you're done.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's something. It's funny. I was talking to Chacho in the waiting room for a little bit, and it's just like we hear all these rules talking about player safety and all that, and the fact that DK was not ejected is
I
beyond
agree.
me.
I agree. There's no place for that in the NFL. That's not a football move. That is trash. That's what that is.
Like,
that is just straight trash.
I had a play where a guy's running towards the play, and I went in to block him. I got flagged for it because it was like 20 yards away from it. Ref saw an angle that thought I hit him in the back or whatever. Okay, totally get it. And I got yelled at by my coach. And he was telling me, don't you effing do that. You're too far away from the play for that to matter.
Well, Pete Carroll was applauding him for it, so.
I was told, like, you do that so far away from the play, and you just ruined a 30-yard gain. Like, it's not worth it.
Yeah. And DK did it, and it's fine.
Like, I mean, granted, of course, that's coming from Pete Carroll, so take it with a grain of salt.
Oh, I know. I mean,
it's just.
I gotta say though, Ram killer Tyler Lockett was neutralized, man. And I understand he got hurt, and they were checking for a concussion. He was back in that game. He could have done something. I mean, at the end of the day, that guy's had so much success against the Rams. Anytime you have a game where you're able to hold a talent like Tyler Lockett to 2 catches for 2 catches for 10 yards, that's a win. Like that,
And even then,
and that's beyond a win.
when you account for penalty yards, Seattle's offense was negative in the second half.
Yeah.
The second half adjustments by the defense was a clinic.
14 more first downs on the offense. They went. By the way,
Like-
that's another thing I forgot to mention. Third down conversion efficiency, like 11 of 17.
Yeah.
Like this team, they were in their bag. They had also. I love that Sean went for the 4th down, and I was like, yes, dude. This is what I tweeted this out. I was like, the league made a mistake humbling Sean McVay last year. Because, and I don't know if I've ever said this to you, and I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record, but like I've been told before, and I've heard the idea of like being fired is the best thing that can happen to you when you're getting really high, right? Like you're getting high and mighty, you feel like you're on top of the world, then you get fired, and it kind of brings you back down to a normal state. Like I'm not a superstar
Happened to me.
anymore. Yeah, happened to me. So you feel great. You're too comfortable. Maybe you're not working as hard now, right? And then
Exactly.
someone brings you down a peg, and you're like, huh? Well, I'm gonna teach those son of a bitches the way I work, right? And so that's the thing. And I think with Sean McVay, I don't know if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, but I said that I think he's about to go into his Ultra Instinct form, if you know what that means.
I stopped watching after like the first 2 seasons, so doesn't ring a bell.
It's like it was later on. Like it's like a transformation. My point being is that Sean McVay essentially won a Super Bowl and then immediately was like high and mighty, wanted a second one. The team was run it back. I hated that, by the way. I did not like that. I thought that was going to bounce back, and hurt them.
And it did.
It did. I thought they got way too cocky. But I think, whatever happened, last year, whatever you want to call it, Sean was given a choice. There was a fork in the road. This is what decides legends and very good, right? You're very good or you're a legend. And I think Sean McVay took the legend approach. He realized, I'm not perfect. I messed up more than I realized. I'm going to go back. I'm going to reevaluate. I'm going to go out. I'm going to hire guys and not take just 15 minutes to hire one, because I don't know if you heard about that, the running back 15-minute interview, running back coach last year. So he really went out
rough.
and he gave a crap. Like he went out and really put all of his mind to getting this thing right. And that's the thing is like the worst thing that the league could have done was humble Sean McVay because it's not just about this year. It's not just me overreacting over week 1. The way he called those plays in that game, this was the amazing thing, Swizzleberry, is that the first drive, everyone knows the first 15 plays of every NFL game are scripted. They're
Right.
scripted plays. Because you have to make adjustments and you can keep using the script. It's not like it's not allowed. But the point is, like, if you're just going to keep using it, then they'll know what you're doing. You become very predictable, So I wanted to make that clear in case anybody's like, wait, is there a limit to how many script plays that we use? No, because the script
I mean,
plays...
if it keeps working, keep doing it.
Yeah, but like the script plays are all about, like, it's the walkthroughs. Like when you ever hear walkthroughs, those are the scripts. Like, so
Yeah.
that's the thing. Is a walkthrough, they're just going through the first 15 plays. Maybe some in-game, late game adjustments and 2-minute warning and 2-minute drill stuff, but that's really it. Like, they're not doing a ton of stuff. So anyway, point I'm making here is that with these scripts, you see Sean, you see Stafford, you see the run game. It's just there's this fluidity, there's this control. It's almost this like arrogance, if you will. Like, we're better than you. We're proving it. The motion was great. And then they changed it up, but still they had that same fluidity, and it felt like the whole game they were like, aside from that one drive where they got screwed over on that call, first and 30 or whatever, that drive, except for that one, if you take that out, all the other drives, it just felt like there was fluidity. It felt like there was creativity that I haven't seen, and balance. They ran the ball 40 times.
A lot.
40. They passed it 38. So that's crazy. I don't know if they ran the ball 40 times at all last year.
No, we haven't seen 40 rushes, I think, since Todd Gurley was on the team.
I don't think Todd Gurley ever ran that much.
Not him specifically, but we had other backups in there that were. Malcolm
and I
Brown
think even that's
in.
debatable. That's the thing. Like 40?
Maybe, yeah. It's a lot.
I mean,
also keep in mind, we had a lot of offensive plays this game specifically. We had the ball for almost 40 minutes.
Crazy.
Like, that's a way to reward your defense after last year's. Keep them off the field.
I know.
Like, they were fresh all game long.
It was awesome to watch because it's exactly how you run an offense that way. And, watching Stafford not get hit, that's because Sean McVay, I know Sean was sitting there. I want to throw the deep ball. I got Tutu Atwell, Van Jefferson. I want to use Puka Nacua. He was patient. He didn't throw too much out there. And when you go back and you look at the play-by-play here, for that first drive, right? First drive was a 16-play touchdown drive. That was the response to a field goal. So they come out. It's 9:52. They start the drive. Akers immediately out of the gate, no gain. So you're like, okay, that's interesting. Second down, they put in Kyron Williams. They run it, 6 yards. 3rd and 4, Higbee, 7 yards. Complete first down. Now Sean McVay's like, okay, well, I had more yards passing, but I got to stay committed to the run. He was disciplined. So Akers, right tackle for 12 yards. Then you're at the 50-yard line. Akers for 2. Kyron for 4. Timeout because they didn't like the look. Then they gave it to Kyron on a delayed handoff for 9 that converted to 3rd and 4. It's a lot of running, 1st and 10, incomplete pass. Then 2nd and 10, incomplete pass. And just when you think you're down and out, 3rd and 10, you get the first down to Van Jefferson. Then you have another set of downs here. 1st and 10, Seattle 25. You get -4 yards with Cam Akers. You get a 10-yard pass to Puka Nacua. That sets you up. And then you get a pass to Tyler Higbee that converts the first down. Now it's 1st and goal at the 7. You have Atwell, who has the falling incident. Van Jefferson gets hit with an illegal block above the waist. So now it's back at the Seattle 17. So you give some, you lose, and a lot of people wouldn't like this, but the way I look at it is now Stafford has room to operate. Like, it's just more room. You don't want to be like right up close at the goal line all the time, especially if you want to throw it. So then Kyron gets no gain on a 1st and goal at 17. 2nd and goal, Puka Nacua gets 16. He's down at the 1-yard line. And then Kyron punches it in on the 16th play, on 3rd and goal. And this was a 16-play, 75-yard, 9-13 drive. 9-minute and 13-second drive. This took up almost the entire quarter of what was left of it.
Yep.
Like, that's crazy. And that's the type of stuff when you look at it, you're like, okay, I see what you're doing. And it's just like his patience and his desire to stick to a game plan, his desire to run the football, he was genuine about this. This was a changed Sean McVay, and that's what I love the most about it. So when I look at it, I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, It's everything we've been screaming about as fans.
Yeah.
Like, we just stick with it. Hey, even if it's 3 yards, I'm okay with 3 yards.
Yeah.
Make them stay honest.
Exactly.
And then eventually, yeah, you're gonna get a play that rips them for 10 yards.
Absolutely.
And the cool part about it is you see into the second half of the game, the deep ball was opened up. Like Van Jefferson probably could have had a touchdown if he didn't drop it. It was there.
I know.
Like, it's so much. There was so much to the game. There's so much to be happy about.
No,
And
you're absolutely right.
I just wish we had another game in between the Niners. Like,
I agree
almost
with
wish
that. It'd be nice
Cincinnati
to
was
have...
week 2 and the Niners was week 3.
Yes, because Cincinnati looked beatable, and they're my Super Bowl pick. So, you know, that's what I'll say there. On Swizzleberry, so I see a bunch of people that are waiting.
Yeah. Let me jump out of here.
Not kicking you out, but what are your final thoughts on going into that 49er game, my guy?
I am excited about it because I think the main thing to look out of that 49ers game is there's things to test certain players on because they are an incredibly talented and they are just clicking right now.
Yeah.
It's a building game. I'm not going into that expecting a win. I'm expecting to lose, but I'm expecting a lot of young players to learn from it, be better, and maybe we have a shot at beating Cincinnati. That's all I'm looking at.
I agree. I think the expectations kind of changed after watching Cincinnati today. I think Burrow, if he's dealing with a calf, I don't think that's going to be better, week 3. It might be better, but it's not going to be good enough for him to... He looked horrible today. I mean, they looked absolutely terrible.
I was thinking in the back of my head, as much as everyone wants to put that and say, oh, Kupp's got a hamstring that lingers, so does a calf injury.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Every step you take involves the calf.
Yeah.
So
24-3 isn't going to win you many games.
No.
I mean, it's not going to win you any games because if you don't have the 24. But 3 points isn't going to win you many games. It might win you a game every 5 years. You might get a 3-0 win, but you don't see that very often. But hey, man, I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All the subs and everything and the support. I mean, I can't even explain to you how much it means to me. And man, I'm getting so close to that chair I want to get. I need this is the most uncomfortable shit I've ever dealt with, and I live in
Miller
it.
chairs are amazing.
Herman Miller, okay.
They're expensive as heck, and if you can find them that are like refurbished, best office chairs ever. And realistically, that's what I mean. You're sitting in a chair for over 8 hours, and I have to do that for work. Herman Miller is like the gold standard, like the Ferrari of chairs, like beautiful chairs. The problem is if you buy it new, you're going to spend like $2,000.
Okay. Yeah, I think the Hayworth Fern is what I'd be looking at.
Okay.
That's the one that the Rams have. And clearly they didn't have them until this year, and they're already 1-0 with the Hayworth Fern in the in the film room. So can't deny that. But hey, man, I really appreciate it, and I don't know if I'll be going live after this. It's a game. I think I'm just gonna take a little break. I might. I don't know, but I think you can expect me probably tomorrow. It'll probably be
Sounds
the best
good.
bet. I think once this is done, I think I'm just gonna relax.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, I gotta get better at just like, it's okay, Jake. You don't need to stream it every hour of the day. You can go and lay down. Like, it's okay.
Right.
I mean, I went 38 hours one time, so as you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna
Don't do that every day.
No, we're gonna avoid that, so I live a long life. But appreciate you, my man, and we'll
Thank
talk
you, Jake.
soon.
Sounds good. We'll talk to you later.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Later. Okay. The Mandalorian, how you doing? Are you there is the question. Oh man. How are you guys doing, chat? While we wait, I don't know if Mandalorian's still here with us. He might. Oh. You there? I don't see you muted, so I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I saw you unmuted your mic, but I can't hear you. Build in mandatory rest times. Yeah, right. All right. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to bring on someone in the meantime if you want to try and fix that. My breaks can be called buys. Oh, that's genius, Swizzleberry. I'm taking a bye. I'll be right back. I'm taking a bye week. Yeah, it's still not working, Mandalorian. I don't know. If you're on phone, I don't know if you need to give it like permission. Like the app permission to use your microphone. I don't know. But while you fix that, I'm going to bring on somebody else in the meantime. And then once that's working, I'll bring you back. Okay. Omer, you there?
Yeah.
How's it going?
How bad is my microphone? Is it okay?
Oh, it's good. I trust me, I've heard potatoes before, so you're good.
Okay, fine. That's good. Yeah, just happy about the win today. What should what to say? There's so much going on today. I loved every part of today's game, to be honest. I don't know where to start.
I can prompt you. I'll give you 3 questions because I'll probably have to call this a show soon. So I'll give everyone 3 questions, and then that way everyone gets, their time.
Yeah.
So first question: who was the most surprising performance today for the Rams?
Most surprising today for me was, to be honest with you, I loved Ernest Jones in this game. Ernest Jones was playing his ass off. I think Ernest Jones was flying around. He was all over the ball. He was killing it. Like, Ernest Jones was around the ball every single time. Like, when I saw a running back with the ball, I saw Ernest Jones right on top of him, and I was really happy about that. I think he might be the most improved player on this defense. And yeah, I mean, from there, I mean, the whole defense is new. So Ernest Jones is the only person that can really improve from last year when you think about it.
Yeah.
Darion Kendrick killed it. I think Darion Kendrick played really well. Kobe Durant barely played last year, so you can't really say he improved. We all knew that Kobe Durant was going to be pretty good this year, but I feel like he didn't get that many snaps last year. So Jordan Fuller was injured all last year. Aaron Donald, we know what Aaron Donald can do.
Oh yeah.
And from there, it was like I think Ernest Jones was all-star today. Like I really feel like Ernest Jones could be a really top linebacker this year.
Yeah, he was everywhere. He really was. Now, my second question for you is, did this game change your mind about whatever prediction, however you thought they were going to be at the end of the season, or not?
So going into the season, I have been saying they're gonna go 9-8,
Okay.
maybe 10-7. I wrote it in your chat. I am comparing them to the 2017 Los Angeles Rams, where they're super young. They're super young. They can blow out some teams, but then they'll lose some games where you expect them to win.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember the 2017 Rams where they lost to the Washington Redskins week 2, and it's
I was there.
What the hell? Like what just happened? And then they blow out the Arizona Cardinals 33-0, and it's like, oh, okay, this team is there's something. Like they'll go to the playoffs. But yeah, that's how I'm looking at it. Like this team is something special.
Yeah, it's really funny because that Washington game, I mean, it wasn't funny being there and losing that, but that Washington game, it was like Aaron Donald, that was his first game with Sean McVay, and you're like, oh, Aaron Donald's back. And then it was like, how'd we lose that? Like Todd Gurley, everyone knows that the Todd Gurley hurdle, that was right in front of me. I was sitting on that side of the Coliseum. So yeah, man, it's funny because I agree with you. It does feel kind of like 2017. And, you know, today the broadcast had mentioned like Aaron Donald is looking at it like it's his rookie year again. I wonder if Sean McVay has that kind of mindset, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. I think Sean McVay was in his bag today. Sean McVay was pulling out all the tricks today. He was really like it was looking like Sean McVay was like really inspired today. Like really inspired. Like he was like, oh, I got all these young guys. I can try all these new things. And it was like, oh my God, like if we had this tool set last year, like we could have been something, but injuries killed us. And it is what it is. But I mean, I'm super excited. I don't know. LaFleur might have like sparked something. Like these trick plays that came out today were pretty exciting. Yeah. So
I think the way they used Kyron was from LaFleur.
yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I definitely think so. Final question here for you before I let you go. And you're welcome to call back anytime, of course. So what do you feel, or how do you feel about the Rams going into the 49ers game this upcoming week?
I'll be honest with you. I've been thinking about it all day today after that game. And you know where I'm at right now is I think the Rams can take them to overtime, and it would be so exciting if the Rams could take them to overtime. And it's in SoFi, and
yeah,
imagine like a 31-31 game, and the Rams beat them 34-31 right there in SoFi.
I mean,
something like that.
I could see them winning. I'm not saying they will, but I could see it. I genuinely could.
Something like that where it's I mean, Deebo Samuel and Ayuk are gonna have their day. Like I know they're gonna have their day. But Stafford today was on his game, and if Stafford plays the way he played today, we could have, we could be in there. We could be in there in overtime, and whoever has the last possession wins the game. It could be 34-31. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Either side, 34-31, something like that.
I think it's going to be hard to put up points on the 49ers defense, so that's the only thing I worry about. But yeah, no, I agree.
I think Kenny Pickett kind of, I mean, I don't want to be like too harsh on the Steelers, but I think Kenny Pickett kind of threw the game today. Like, I think Stafford could definitely put up points against the 49ers.
Oh, he definitely can. I think they're a legit defense, though, so I think it's going to be tougher. But yeah, man, I appreciate you stopping by. It sounds like you think, are you going to say Well, I won't put you on the spot, but if you are, would you say the Rams are going to win?
I'm gonna say no,
Okay.
but I think it'll be closer than people expect. I think there's always these trap games, and the Rams could be a trap game for the 49ers. 49ers, they beat the Steelers easy this week, and then they're gonna go on to the Rams, and they're gonna think not much of it. Rams could punch them in the face. We never know.
That's the hope, man. Hey, appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for letting me on.
Absolutely. Come on anytime.
All right. Thank you.
Absolutely. You take care. All right. 513135. How's it going?
Oh, it's Rams, man. I don't know why he says that number.
Oh, yeah, I don't know why it says that either then. What the hell? What's up?
Nothing much. I don't know why I got to act.
Yeah, I don't know why it just says numbers. So
Sure.
I'm gonna ask you three questions.
Okay.
All right, first one. What'd you think about the game today?
I thought the game was great. Hold on. I thought the game was great. Like, I was really surprised by Nuka Kapua's performance.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I mean, I was one of those people, I was like, I will not be surprised if Puka Nacua only gets like 10, 20 yards. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes over like 40 or 50 either, but 100 in his first game, like, damn. That's a start to a career. Now, with the second question here. So moving forward, I don't know what your prediction was for the season. But looking at this game, whatever it was, has it changed because of this game at all?
No, I thought I wasn't high as you, thinking they'd win 10 games. I was thinking between 7 and 10. Like, I thought 10 may be the high mark, but I wasn't thinking they would win more than 10. Like, I find that hard to because like we said, the defense is unproven.
Yeah.
So, and then with Cup out, and then Stafford would probably be great, but I mean, but if they can run the ball, but like in 2018 when they made the Super Bowl, if they can rush it for 35 to 40 times a game, like they brought in C.J. Anderson, and they can open up play action, and they can start running the ball effectively, open up play action, open up everything else, this team probably could do something.
I agree. I definitely agree. And I like that they just stayed committed to running the football. It wasn't there. The run game wasn't there, but you can't just not run the ball. Like, you gotta, last year McVay's just like, I don't even want to run the football because it's not working. Well, it didn't work today entirely, despite the fact you had 3 rushing touchdowns. Kind of goes to show you stats can be a little deceiving. But he kept doing it. 40 carries. And you don't know, but I mean, there's a good chance that led to easier throws. I mean, they sold out to stop the run. They did. Now the question is, I mean, I don't even think the 49ers have to do that because they're that good, but I mean, who knows? But speaking of the 49ers, final question for you. Who's winning that game next week?
I think the Niners win it, but then that may be just like a psychological thing because the Niners have beaten them so many times in the regular season over the last 4 years.
Yeah.
I don't expect the Rams to win.
Yeah, I hear you. I still haven't figured it out. I was leaning towards the idea of the Rams aren't going to win, but they're going to play competitive. I think as the week goes by, there's a chance that I get kind of talked into it. I think I'm going to stick with the loss, though. I think, which is fine. I mean, again, I said this team would be 2-2 going through the first 4 games, and then Cup would come back and they would have a shot at the Eagles. And I mean, I think when Cup's back, they're going to be in even better shape. But it's also like what they learned about Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell, Kyron Williams, and their diva. Like, I mean, to win this game the way they did, it wasn't just that they pulled it off. They went into someone else's house in their home opener and just soiled them. So, did you have any final thoughts?
My final thought would be this: if the Rams somehow beat the Niners, and they go into and unless the Bengals play like a hell of a lot better than they did this week, then I would feel that the Rams have a legitimate shot to go into the Colts game 3-0.
Yeah.
And then they beat the Colts, they can go into the Eagles game undefeated.
I mean, I think it's possible after today.
4-1. And no one in the league is expecting that.
No.
Yeah.
No, I think it's definitely possible. Looks like that Giants game on the schedule is going to be a little more difficult Cowboys game on the schedule is going to be a little bit more difficult than maybe I thought. Because that defense, but who knows? I mean, maybe it's difficult for Daniel Jones, but then Stafford roasts them. You know, I guess we really just don't know, and that's why you can't overreact too much to well, overreacting is considered too much in general, but you can't overreact to just week 1. But I think it's important to find that happy medium, because I think there are people that want to be like, week 1 doesn't matter. It's okay. We lost. It's no big deal. Like, week 1 does matter. But it's about what you do with the information after week 1. More so. So it's like...
I don't want to see Michael Hoyt play. I don't know about Michael Hoyt in coverage anymore. Like, after today, it's like, That
was a hell of a pass breakup, though, that they called a defensive pass interference. That was crazy.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Maybe he might not be fit for linebacker. They might have to either stick him at end or tap. They might have to find somewhere on the line for him. I don't know.
I mean, like, I don't blame you, because it's not. I like the guy, but like, what the 300 pounds covering DK Metcalf? I don't know, man. And I thought that was going to be.
Again. I guarantee you, if that happened, if the Rams try that next week, they're going to line Debo Samuel up on him, and good luck. He.
Oh yeah, that's just brutal. But yeah, man, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate you, and definitely hop on the next time I'm live. I love bringing people on.
Yep, already. Yep, have a good one. I'm going to join back on Kick.
Sounds good. Thanks, man. All right. So I see the Mandalorian. You have fixed your mic. You there?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How's it going?
Doing good, man. You know what? There was just some weird setting deep in the profile settings of this Discord where I guess there's some filter button where it's like, hey, if your voice isn't being heard, turn this off. I'm like, of course.
Oh my god.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something. So I was like, I think that should work. But how do I sound? Do I sound okay? Hopefully it's not too over the top.
Yeah, we've talked on Spaces before, right?
Right, man. Yes, indeed. I was gonna say those are good times when Michael Flohr got hired. We were in the Jets Twitter Spaces, and that was a good conversation. So it's cool that you're doing stuff like this, man, with the Discord and getting callers in and all that. But gosh, what a game, man! I can't lie to you, Jake. I didn't feel good about the game going into it. All this morning, I was the typical opening day nervousness of what do you expect? Yeah. What did you see in preseason? How does that factor into your expectations of this game in the weeks to come, in the months to come of the football season? And I am pleasantly happy.
I love it
that we smoked Seattle up in the state of Washington. If you were to say we won, I'd be like, yeah, maybe Maher pulled, got over the the kicker, jitterbugs and nailed a clutch field goal. But Jake, if you were to tell me yesterday, hey, Rams are going to go up there and they're just going to absolutely beat down the Seahawks, I would have been like, get out of here, dude. Get out of here.
Yeah,
and I'm just so happy that this young group really played well. And Jake, why I was not so thrilled with the overall outlook of the season, obviously we got rid of a ton of talented players. We all know who they are and why they're gone for various reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But what I saw in preseason, and I'm an all-22 film junkie, as you know.
Yes.
I really, really enjoyed the schematics and how did you individually do as a player? Because I think when we watch the games, the highlights, the broadcast view just gives you a small picture instead of the macro that all-22 does. So I went back to the preseason games, and I was not happy with what I saw with the D-line, man. And not the third stringers that got cut that played all in the Denver finale game. What I saw from Kobe Turner, I didn't like in preseason. What I saw from Bobby Brown, what I saw from Michael Hoyt and Byron Young, I was like, man, dude, this isn't a great film they're putting out. So I wasn't too sure what they were going to do today. And that's why a big reason I felt nervous. I was like, man, Seahawks run game, Kenneth Walker, healthy, a lot of rest time. I was like, man, oh man. And you know what? Shout out to the Young Bucks. They said, hey, the lights are on, it's time. And they played pretty dang well today, and I'm very happy. And I got to be honest. I am pleasantly surprised about how good Steve Avila is, man.
Oh, yeah.
How good it's just, because his film and Tremaine Ingram and even Alaric Jackson's in the preseason that I looked at a little bit, I thought they were really great in pass protection. I thought in the run game, they put out some bad film in preseason. Now they're young guys. They haven't played much, obviously. A bunch of late, obviously Avila is a high draft pick. Ingram is, I want to say, a 7th. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that. And then Alaric's undrafted. So I was like, all right, they haven't played much. Maybe get the jitterbugs out. But that's something I was just so happy to see today. Avila kicked ass, dude. Good pick. And that helps with the Logan Bruss disappointment that we all probably feel with him not turning out like we all hope.
And his story's not written either, so he could end up.
No, it's
yeah,
it's definitely not, man. And hopefully, look at, man, having a serious knee injury to your leg as a lineman, like, gosh, I couldn't even imagine. I mean, that's your ultimate weapon. Let's be honest, as a lineman, you can bench press, and that helps. Hey, man, I can bench 225 a gazillion times. That's great. But all the power and the movement's all in the lower body, so I can't even imagine being a lineman just snapping the ligaments that give you all the strength and the support to be able to do your job. So we'll see what happens with him. But Avila playing well, being a Hispanic dude for the city of LA too, we're half Hispanic. It's a cool thing to see. But I got to tell you something. To everybody out there who's here listening and whoever questioned Matthew Stafford, all the big analysts out there, all the networks, like, does nobody watch film out there?
Nope.
No, nobody. No. I mean, it's just like, my God, Matthew Stafford is a top 10 quarterback, and last year was a disaster because he was getting tombstone pile driven every other play. Like, you can have the greatest. Put Tom Brady back there. Is he going to do anything much better? No. Whoever you want to throw in there.
You can.
Yeah, last year, I'm saying.
Yeah, you could throw Michael Vick back there, and he's still getting sacked,
So this notion of, oh, Matthew's a bottom tier. Oh, he's old. He sucks. It's like, guys, oh, my God. So I'm happy that today he balled out like the top 10 quarterback he's always been.
Yes.
And it's just, there's a throw right before halftime. I don't remember the exact time, but he threw a needle to Tutu Atwell for a first down. Unfortunately, Maher missed the kick right before the end of the half. There was one I was like, so basically, guys, you can probably find it on the highlights. I'm sure it's part of the highlight on YouTube somewhere. But basically, Tutu's running like a skinny post from the slot, and dude, Stafford looks off. I don't know what safety. It might have been Diggs, one of the safeties, and throws this straight up laser beam in between Jordan Brooks, Bobby Wagner, the corner that was guarding Tutu, and then the up top safety. I'm like, oh my God, dude. Dude is just unbelievable. And what a shock when you give him a little bit of time, he'll shred people. And Jake, what have we been hearing all camp from our people in the Rams that report? Other teams, the Raiders and the Broncos during joint practices, everyone was saying Matthew Stafford is just shredding defenses the
He's
entire
just throwing
camp.
whatever he wants to throw, and it's getting completed. And
so that was
that's what we saw today.
And that was exactly what we saw. And you know what's funny too? I had heard. I've been in just I tune in when I have time with when I'm not working. I'll tune in some Twitter spaces of the opposing teams just to get a feel what their expectations are of the team. And everyone thought we were going to get locked down so bad by this great Seahawks secondary. And look, Quandre Diggs is a great safety. The other two corners, I'm just blanking on names. They had a nice season last year. But when you got a top 10 quarterback, he can make all the throws and make your supposed really good secondary look pretty bad. And that's what Matthew Stafford did today. So Matthew Stafford is a top 10 quarterback. Everybody accept it. Everybody enjoy it. Because we don't get good quarterback play like this for the Rams very often. Think about it, man. So, it's really good to see.
I mean, like, look, I would even say I'd say he's top 5, and I think the only one that even has an argument in the NFC is Jalen Hurts. Like, that's it. Like, that's the only one.
Yeah. And Jake, I'm trying to think today. Who else played this well at quarterback today?
And that's what I tweeted that out. I was like, I watched a lot of football. I watched a lot of football today. I did a watch party. I watched every single game. I had like 8 different screens on going on at once. I did not see quarterback play like that. And of course I said that, and then Tua Tagovailoa goes for like 446 yards.
Oh, dang, did he really? Wow.
Yes. So like I missed that because here's the thing. I watch all the 1 o'clock games, and then 4 o'clock hits, and I'm like, all right, I'll just catch that on the replay, right? Because I want to be like, I cover the Rams, right? I covered the Jets last year with the Rams, so it's easy. Jets 1 o'clock, Rams 4, right? But it's like, I want to focus on my team, right? And so I don't want to have red zone on. I don't want anything on. I want just the Rams. And so it makes me a little ignorant in that, I guess. But I go back and I watch those games anyway. And I do now, of course, because I cover the NFL. But,
yes,
I think like when I was watching, I'm like, Purdy had some moments. But and don't get me wrong, like he makes some really good throws here and there. Most of his throws, guys, are beyond wide open. And Stafford will throw it when you're not open. And he is that good of a quarter. He'll put it exactly where it needs to be. And I got to say this. I hear all the time Tariq Woolen is this elite corner. He's not elite. Tariq Woolen is almost like a clone of Trayvon Diggs. Good.
Ooh, that's a good comparison.
Athleticism is crazy, like freaky, ball hawk. But if we had like how in baseball you have like wins above replacement, if we had a legitimate one for corners, like actually assist to turnover ratio would be a better one. If we had a legit assist to turnover ratio thing where we're talking about interceptions to like yards per whatever given, I'm sure there's something out there analytically, they'd be near the bottom. Because I'm telling you right now, like Reek Woolen he's a good corner. He's not elite. There's not a lot of like, the problem is everyone thinks top 10 means elite. I don't think there's a ton of elite corners in the league. I think there's Jalen Ramsey. I think there's Sauce Gardner, Jair Alexander, Patrick Surtain, and that's pretty much it. There are other guys that are there, but those are the elite corners.
Corner's just so hard to play in this league, Jake.
Exactly.
Everything's so skewed to offense, man, and I feel for defensive players, man. I feel
I do too.
Even today there was some calls. I think there was a call on Jacoby Durant where it was like a pass interference. I was like, how else do you play that?
Yeah.
It's like sorry his nice Nike glove got a little stuck to the number on his jersey. Like, it was like that millisecond, but it's tough, man. Even some of the calls on Darion Kendrick, which, by the way, shout out to Darion Kendrick. I know he got smoked on that slant and go on the touchdown, which was a bad look, but shout out to him for making vast improvement from last season. I just want to shout him out real quick. But overall, with DB play, it's tough, man. So I agree with that elite list you just gave of those 4 players.
Yeah. See, it didn't have to be a top 5. It's
No, see, yeah.
You know,
I know
there's
it
only
gets
4.
tricky, but yeah, it's definitely tricky, man. But shout out to our secondary. And one thing I don't think people realize, and maybe now that I mention it, is like, dude, Russ Cease is holding down a starting job over John Johnson. John Johnson, who was a starting strong safety in a number 1 defense like a couple seasons ago, and Russ Cease is keeping him out of getting back that job. So I can't wait to break down or spend my time with the all 22 and really see what exact coverages we were doing. Because yes, it was a vast difference of the 7-8 yard cushion that was making me want to pull my hair out last season to now. And I think it's a not obviously it's a schematic shift, but I think it's a personnel shift. Jacoby Durant's got great, small area quickness. Akilla Witherspoon's got great, short area quickness.
I knew you meant.
And I think Darion Kendrick, I think, has improved in that. He doesn't look that slow anymore, man. Because remember last year, think about it, Jake. There's a lot of times where he'd be in that 7-yard cushion, and he was just slow to get his hips around, turn to start running a receiver. I'm like, man, dude, I get why he's playing far.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the speed. Today, there was times he was running with DK, and DK's hawking down dudes, and pick sixes like what was that Buda Baker a couple seasons ago, and that that's a clip that'll never die that you see on social media.
Oh,
I mean, he was running with them on a go route, and that's DK's favorite route. And I was like, all right, DK, man, you had a bad moment, but hey, man, defensive players, you got to have a short-term memory. So shout out to them. And real quick with the run game, because I heard the last couple guests talk about this. I have a shirt that says "Run the damn ball" in blue and gold. So it was a gift. It's a great shirt. And I'm just happy to see finally we're starting to do some more gap scheme run plays, because I've been saying that in spaces. Maybe anybody who's in this video watching, maybe they recognize my voice and has heard me talk about this. But Sean, to be a part of this West Coast Shanahan run scheme, for him to be the last coach the last few years, finally getting the gap run scheme, run plays, it's a travesty. It's like, Sean, you're so smart, dude. You make great, fantastic passing plays. Like, you really can't scheme up a decent gap run play. Everything's got to be inside zone or outside zone or a wide zone. That's it. And yes, Todd Gurley made that go, and we had a top 5 O-line. And obviously, when you have elite players in that run game unit, of course you can run the same 5 plays and everything being good. But it was good to see more counters today, whether it was with Higbee, our receivers. It was good to see more wham plays with them as well, the receivers. It was good to see more duo when we ran the eye. It was good to see a couple guard trap plays. It's like, thank you, Mike LaFleur, for coming and be like, hey, Sean, you had a lot of success with zone. Can we start doing some gap stuff? Because
absolutely,
our run game today, it still needs work, and I'm a little worried about that this upcoming week against San Fran. But it's good to see that Sean is letting Mike LaFleur have a great influence on this offense. It's just awesome to see, because I love the run game. I mean, my playing days was a lot of run first offenses, so I enjoy that physicality of football in that respect. And passing stuff is awesome, but when you can run the football and you run it consistently and there's creativity, it excites me. So that was good to see. And on to next week, man. In terms of all this stuff we've shortly discussed, I think next week we really need to be better on the outside edges of the defense and the run game, because McCaffrey, Shanahan's going to see that on film, and he's going to exploit the shit.
That's
he's
his
gonna
job.
Find I know, and he's great. Look, Shanahan's a top 5 offensive mind, like not even in the debate, man, for the last handful of years. And he's going to do those power tosses that you see, those quick pitches where they pull a guard, but it's not meant to be a wide toss. It's meant to be like right off the outside hip of the tackle. It's like a power toss. If Byron and Michael Hoyt get bodied or lose contain like they did today, and they do that, this upcoming Sunday, a week from today, we're going to get smashed on, in the run game. So hopefully that gets corrected. And I think in terms of passing, I mean, shoot, it's great when you don't have to call lineman's name. And Jake, when this last couple days where the press conferences of Coach McVay, Coach LaFleur, and they were like, yeah, we're still figuring out our starting 5 up front on the O-line. I was like, all right, I get the tactics, but it's like, hopefully you guys have it figured out. And they're like, We really want to get Noteboom. And Jake, I was worried about that, man, because Tremaine Ingram
He looked good.
had been. Tremaine Ingram, I thought he was excellent in preseason in pass protection.
Yeah.
Run game, obviously, like I mentioned earlier, there I had some worries, but I was like, how can we screw up the continuity just because you have to play Joe Noteboom because he makes so much money?
Oh, I know.
That's what I thought was happening. I was like, we're really gonna be that team where we're trying to justify.
I thought that as well,
Jake,
actually.
real quick, yeah, and Jake, you know what? Shout out to Noteboom for playing a decent game today, at least. I'll see you on film, but there was not one sack given up. Obviously, the run game, everyone can work on from this last game. But when you know what they say, if you're not calling a lineman's name, they're getting shit done, right? They're getting shit done. So shout out to him, because I was worried, man. When I saw he was starting, I was like, we're really gonna screw up months and months of continuity just because Joe Newcomb has to play because he makes $13.5 million. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't believe we're gonna do that, and we're really gonna screw this up. And I was big, like, Tremaine has to start. He's been playing. We can't. If he plays bad, then so be it. Then we make the switch. But it's like, we can't mess up the. You know how it is, Jake. O-line needs that continuity together. It's a
Absolutely.
unit. Not everyone's doing these one-on-one blocks. That's insanity in today's. And there's so many mega athletes on the front seven now. Everything's combo blocks. It's working in tandem. So I just thought that was going to be troublesome, and it wasn't. So shout out to Joe Noteboom for doing his job today at guard, and hopefully that continues, throughout the rest of the season.
My first thought was, what if Joseph Noteboom ends up being Roger Saffold 2.0? You know?
Well, great. Shoot, man. I hope so. As of today, I'm like, thanks. Yeah, what do I know? I'm all worried about that. We'll let a brilliant mind like Sean McVay figure it out. I mean, golly. But I was concerned. If that ends up being the case, Jake, then thank God, because I was worried, man. I was like, man, Joe Noteboom really got beat out by an undrafted guy. And so be it. Let the best five win after last year's debacle. You know what I'm saying, on the O-line. I was like, the best five. But I was like, man, we really had another, big extension to a Rams player, and it didn't work out again. I was like, I can't believe it, man. So it's good that he's, after this one game, we'll see what happens the rest of the season, but that he's doing his job, and the money is well worth it right now. Thankfully. But I will say, Brian Allen losing his job, I'm not saying that's like mega alarming, but that's like that's the extra $3-4 million, that difference between him and Cole, because I think Coleman's what, 2.5, and Brian's like $6.5 million per year. That extra $4 million would have been nice if you're, an edge rusher, or Melvin Ingram maybe, or somebody else. But hey, can't complain. Matthew Stafford was protected, fantastic, and that's all you can ask for. Give this no doubt top 10 quarterback time to throw, and we'll do well. But again, surprising win today, man. And with San Fran, we just got to be more disciplined on defense, and I think we'll have a chance. I don't know if we'll win. I haven't really sat on it, and this all 22 that I'll look at, it'll really give me an idea of how I feel about that game, based on what I see from individual players, the responsibilities and what we did and how they performed in those moments.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I am gonna have to get some of these people on, because I'm gonna have to call this a show.
No, of course. Apologies, everybody. I know I probably I ramble on a little too much, but
no,
yeah,
you
Jake,
got great
it's good that you're
stuff.
doing it. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. But
Yeah,
it's good that you're doing these calls, man. I'll definitely, when I get a chance, I'll definitely try to ring in on after game days when I get a moment. It'd be fun to catch up and ramble about the Rams, right?
No, I absolutely, anytime. We do JE lives throughout the week as well, so I'm just opening this up to. I'm just trying to do this more. You know what I mean? Our Discord was
good,
just, I don't know, 460, and now we have 595 people. So
I know, it's great, man. I know you got a good thing going, Jake. You and Cameron are doing good with Believe and Locked On.
Appreciate
you and Alexis
that.
with Downtown, and then this is fun as well. Again, you're tapping into the new wave of radio, man. You're getting the phone calls in on streams.
I know, right? And I'm growing.
It's great.
I'm growing on a new platform as well, like trying to grow on Kicks. So it's been fun, man. It's a lot of, I found. Oh, and I'm also going to be writing again. So I don't know if I I made that.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. So,
Very good. Yeah, it's definitely. Hey, man, we gotta solidify it on in written words. We got you in digital, and now we need it in digital words. Digital.
In case you didn't hear me, literally the first time, here it is in black and white. Yeah, no, absolutely,
right,
man. I appreciate you stopping by, and
yes, man.
I'll say this, you know, as far as just before you go, I think the biggest thing is that I thought the same exact way you did about Noteboom. And then we had Andrew Siciliano on, and when I heard Andrew kind of like talking up Noteboom, I realized it wasn't just like team like gamesmanship, so to speak. It wasn't like PR. Like they really were going to like they like him a lot. He actually
Jake,
had an injury. You know what I mean?
No, I know. And Jake, real quick, I'll just finish on this last thought, and I can get out of here for everybody else. Apologies, everybody. But you know, Joe Noteboom as a replacement played awesome. Last year when he was healthy before the Achilles, he was playing bad, so I was worried. Oh
yeah, no, I was worried too. But I agreed with you though. Like, it kind of came off like, oh, okay, is this like, you know, are you about to trade him away? Like, are you not? Like, is this just trying to justify the dollar that you spent on him? But in reality, I think they really do like him, and they're hoping that he's done with his string of injuries. And who knows? Maybe he is. You know, Roger Saffold, I remember he was dealing with a bunch of injuries. He got that injection, and he was good. Never dealt with it really again after that. So, yeah. Because, I mean, he was injury after injury at tackle. He moved to guard, and he was good to go. So that's the hope.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't good. But, hell yeah, Jake, I'll let everybody else get in. Apologies to everybody else. Thanks, whoever was sticking around and waiting for me to finish. But remember, hey, hit that Discord, everybody, if you want to get on these phone calls and talk with Jake, talk some ball, talk some Rams ball. And don't forget, run the damn ball, everybody.
Love it. Hey, you take care, man.
All right, we'll talk next game. Peace.
Sounds good. Later. All right. Just a guy. How you doing?
Oh, we're here.
Yo,
we're
it's
here.
Scoot.
It is me. It is me. Am I allowed to swear? Can I swear here?
Yeah. I mean, no F-bombs, but yeah.
Okay. I'll control myself. Okay. I'm gonna be so biased here. I have no questions. No one believed in us today. Our own fans didn't believe in us today. But the real ones, we knew, the ones who watched. We saw us go 0-3 in the preseason. We didn't care. 0-3 in the preseason. We went 0-3 in the preseason when we won the whole thing. We didn't care. And now we know we're cooking something special, bro. And now, after the game, after we absolutely decimate them 30-13, 259 to 3 yards in the second half of the game. It's only the Seahawks. It's only Geno Smith. It's only week 1. I do not care. We went into Seattle. We went to I'm not going to say the loudest. We went to one of the loudest stadiums in the NFL. One of the hardest places to play. And we kicked them in the teeth. I want a handwritten apology from everybody that wanted us to tank, who thought we were going to lose. And I especially want an apology for everyone that doubted Raheem Morris. Raheem Morris coached his ass off today. And I want an apology from everyone that slandered him last year.
I agree with literally every freaking word that came out of your mouth.
Dude, the Raheem slander last year was atrocious.
Oh, it was awful. It really was.
I want a handwritten apology, and you know who you are. You know who you are. If you slandered Raheem last year, I want a handwritten no apology posted in the Discord.
Oh, man. That's this. All right. First off, I've liked you for a long time, just watching what you do on Twitter. Obviously the giveaway, we've been in contact. You were very not only responsive but understanding and patient, because you know the whole BS with we can't get the PS5 and the chip and all that. You are awesome, dude. You're awesome. And now I can actually put a voice every time I see you talking about Mr. Benny Sco. I can
I'm rocking the Benny Sco jersey at work today.
Love it.
I'm at work right now. It's officially lucky. I see people apologizing to Raheem in the chat. I appreciate it.
That's funny. You know, this is cool because I mean we've been talking for a minute, so it is really cool that you called in. It's funny. I clicked on it was like just a guy, and I was like, wait, this is not, because it can kind of, you can check to see like an older name, and then I was like, oh, it says Scoot. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
That's me. That's me. I'm cooking. I've been brewing that since I joined. I've been sitting here. I'm sitting at work right now. I'm about to get off in 45 minutes. I've been sitting there. I've been brewing on it.
Oh man, I love it. I love it. Do you go on Twitter Spaces at all?
No, I don't. I've never been in a Twitter space.
Huh. So is this like your first, is this your debut on was this like a voice reveal for Scoot?
Yeah. I guess, yeah. I've sent voice memos in the Rams group chat, but that's about it.
Oh man. Yeah, Edwin's like, let him cook, Jake.
And by the way, I'm so sick of we're gonna let's see if they're legit week 2. No, we're gonna kick the Niners in the teeth next. I do not care. Debo sucked today. Trent Williams got hurt today. Hope he's okay. Don't wish injuries on anybody. But Aaron Donald is going to make Brock Purdy's life hell. We are going to destroy the San Francisco 49ers because they're just like the Seahawks today. They were so cocky. All the Seahawks fans were so cocky. Oh, the Seahawks, by the way, Seahawks are about to start off 0-2 because they are not going to beat Jared Goff, my former GOAT, and the Detroit Lions. They didn't have an answer for Puka Nacua or Tutu Atwell. You think they got an answer for the Sun God? You think?
Oh,
say
man.
it with a straight face. You think they have an answer for the Sun God?
I mean, I have them. I wouldn't be surprised if they. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Seattle did not impress me today. But I also think the Rams are really good. And it's like if Seattle was playing maybe Washington, I'd be like, okay, Seattle bounces back. But how the hell are they going to beat the Lions?
Not only did the Seahawks not impress me today, the Seahawks looked like garbage. They didn't underperform. They looked terrible. They looked awful today. The Seahawks defense couldn't stop it. You know how many times do you think we punted today, Jake?
Did we? No, we punted like twice, right?
One, and it was a bomb from Ethan Evans. Another steal in the draft from Les Snead masterclass.
Hey, but I thought they don't develop talent.
Yeah, I thought we didn't develop talent. I thought we had no future. We had 2 receivers under 23 go for 100 yards today.
Oh my god.
By the way, what's that receiver they drafted? Jackson Smith Najigba. What did his stat line look like today? I thought that guy was gonna cook us.
3 for 14.
I don't even know. That guy's a bum. I don't care. That dude's a bum.
You got a lot of fans in the chat right now.
Yet another Seahawks first round bust.
Everyone loves your energy.
I'm bringing the energy because you know what? There's people that are mad that we lost today because they want us to go get Caleb Williams. They want us to go get Drake May. They want us to go get Marvin Harrison Jr. Well, guess what? That's too damn bad unless they're there at 32.
By the way, Drake May, doesn't he look? And I scout. You've seen it. I put a lot of effort into scouting. But I hate to just brush him off like he's not. Doesn't he look mid? He looks mid right now. Like he does
Drake
not.
May?
He doesn't look good. Drake May does not look good right now in college.
He looks all right. He looks okay.
I don't know. Like there's better quarterbacks like that are performing at a higher level. I'm not like about to tank for someone who doesn't look good in college. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not about to tank at all because I have Aaron Donald, Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp in a couple weeks, Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua looks amazing. I'm literally about to buy a Puka Nacua jersey right now.
Oh man, maybe that should be our jersey giveaway. Gary and I have been trying to give this jersey away.
Give away a Puka jersey. That would feed families.
Feed families.
Puka Nacua has, dude, all the I bet money on Sky Moore. All my money is going to Puka Nacua next week. Puka Nacua is going to cook.
Oh, man.
Who do the 49ers have at secondary that's as good as Tariq Woolen?
I would say Charvarius Ward's better.
Yeah, until he lines up against Puka the God Nacua and he gets his ankle snapped for a touchdown, a 75-yard bomb to start the game.
Oh man,
we are going to stop the San Francisco 49ers. They're going to come, they can have all the fans that they want in SoFi. They can get their second attendance banner for all I care. But we are going to destroy them. It's going to be like the NFC Championship game. They're going to be on those those escalators by halftime. Do they? I don't know. I don't live by SoFi, so I don't know if they have elevators. So maybe they will take the elevator.
Oh my God. Clark said, Scoot woke me the F up. I was falling asleep.
Yeah, well, I hope everyone else wakes up too because the Rams are going to be 2-0 next week. That'll wake everyone up.
Oh man, I'm with you though on the tanking.
I saw one of the
for
power
real.
rankings. I saw on the power. Yeah, this is a bold tank strategy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you win 30-13, you normally lose every game on purpose after that, right?
30-13. We kicked them in the chest. They didn't know what happened. Was that quote from DK Metcalf real when he said, I can't name anyone on that secondary?
I don't think so.
I would hope not. But you know what? You know what is real? That pacifier in his mouth because he's a big old baby.
And, I mean, clearly, any dude that's going to try to give somebody whiplash when they're not looking, like what he did to Witherspoon earlier, I've lost all my respect for him.
DK Metcalf is good for 1 to 2 game-changing mistakes per game.
Yeah.
I'll give him his flowers. He's good. DK Metcalf is a good receiver, but he is good. Remember that one game where he didn't go out of bounds and he almost fumbled it? I think he did fumble it.
I think there was that one, and then there's one where he got so upset that they were like, he forced it to himself in the playoffs, and we already know D-Well picked it off and ran it back for 6 and kind of sealed the deal.
Oh, yeah, he was crying. He was sitting there crying on the sideline. He needs to just keep that pacifier in his mouth. Keep his mouth shut.
I know. Why does he have a pacifier? That's so weird.
I don't know.
But he does. It's not a, because, I mean, I actually found out the whole point of those mouth guards was to, like, it's not just like a mouthpiece. It doesn't protect your teeth. It also protects, like, your lips from getting, like, cut, you know? Because people will stick their fingers in your face mask and, like, you know? But there's no reason to have an actual pacifier, which he does have. So I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of DK Metcalf, I saw everyone so angry that Darion Kendrick was on DK Metcalf, and he got, I'll say he bit kind of hard on the row, and he got kind of cooked for the touchdown. And then what happened? Nothing. I don't think Metcalf had another target the rest of the game. He was invisible. He had the invisibility cloak from Harry Potter on the rest of the game. He didn't do anything. He did nothing.
Oh man, That's funny.
I'm not even exaggerating. What did he do?
Your guess is as good as mine.
And you know what? I had him in fantasy, and he got 13 points, and then he disappeared. It was a good day for me.
Oh, man. So, basically, you answered all my questions without me asking you, but you also had a fun rant that I loved. Yeah, I just saw Mike Florio shit his pants today. Yeah, Mike Florio's not happy right now.
Mike Florio's a clown. Mike Florio doesn't know that. Did you see Stafford's post-game victory speech?
No, what'd he say?
I can't say it because he dropped a lot of F-bombs.
Oh, okay.
But he said anyone who thought that they knew what was gonna happen here, they don't have an effing clue. And that was at Mike Florio. That was at the morons who were saying, "Oh, what happened to that narrative with Stafford not being able to connect with the young players? He seemed to have a pretty good connection with Puka. He had a pretty great connection with Puka today."
Yeah, that's so stupid. And even if he doesn't connect with them, like, who cares? Because on the field, like you said, it didn't even matter. And that's TMZ, man. I don't cover that. You know me. I keep it real. I cover football analysis. I try to educate. I try to give my humble opinion. I could give a rat's ass about any sort of TMZ. Oh, he's dating this person, or he's not getting involved with his teammates if it's off the field, I don't care. As long as it's not legal, I don't care.
Whole bunch of garbage.
It's all, yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's just the whole it's funny. I was talking about this the other day, and it's like, I like Caleb Williams. I like USC, but I'm just like, when people ask me, hey, what are your thoughts on tanking? Like, are you for it? I'm like, am I for waiting 9 months to watch my team finally and then sit there and root for them to lose on purpose so they can get a quarterback when we already have Matthew Stafford? No.
Caleb Williams will make an excellent Arizona Cardinal.
Or maybe not. Looked like the Cardinals tried to win today.
They tried to win, but they didn't.
Yeah.
They got cooked by Sam Howell.
Yeah, so, there's that. But, hey, Scoot, appreciate you. Y'all have to come by more often. We need that energy.
I will try my best. I will come. I will bring the energy. We are going to beat the San Francisco 49ers next week to a score of 82-0. We are going to kick Brock Purdy in his teeth. We're going to score a lot of touchdowns. Stafford's going to be in the MVP conversation. Puka Nacua is going to be in Offensive Rookie of the Year conversation. And Byron Young's going to be in Defensive Rookie of the Year conversation. And that's the bottom line.
Because Scoot said so.
Because Stone Scoot said so.
Oh, man. Hey, Scoot, appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
You be well, man, and we'll talk soon. Appreciate you.
We will. Have a good night.
You too. All right, guys. Okay. Cade, how we doing?
Yo, good. Let me mute the stream so I'm not hearing you twice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How you doing, man? What a game today.
Oh, man. What a game. I wasn't... So, it's funny. Initially, I was going to do a watch party for that Dallas and Giants game. And I was thinking about it, and I'm like, man, if I go live right after the game on Bleacher Report for 20 to 30 minutes, and then I go live on YouTube, we're already at the Dallas and Cowboys game. So I was like, I have over 300 people in here. Do I want to piss all of them off and just go offline and then just be like, hey, we're talking Dallas Cowboys, and or do I want to do and stick to my bread and butter? So glad we're
that game was real close,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It would have been. I am so glad. Sometimes the universe just sends you a sign. That's a sign that I made the right decision.
For sure. I mean, I'd rather talk Rams than about the Cowboys. Yeah, that's real exciting. But man,
40-0.
This game today. Yeah, this game today. I mean, I like to think. I mean, especially in recent years. I mean, how we started the year is how the year went. I mean, Super Bowl year, that Chicago game, that was fun.
Oh yeah,
that was so fun. And we go win the Super Bowl, and then the year after, we all know what happened. Bills.
Oh yeah,
injuries. Yeah, I mean,
that was the watch party. That's why I don't do Rams watch parties. They've never won when I do one.
I remember that. But man, today just felt so tough. Felt like a tough team out there on the field today. All the young guys scrapping. I mean,
did you watch any of the 1:00 games?
On West Coast, yeah, the early games.
Yeah.
I watched the scores and red zone for a bit, but I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention.
So I mean, maybe it's just like bias because I just watched it, but I couldn't help but think, I was like, I just watched football for 3 hours. I saw the Thursday night game. I watched all those games, and I'm watching the Rams. I'm like, they're not sloppy, they're motivated. Like, I'm not one of those people that's like, they got a quarterback, they got a head coach, they fight hard, but it's like you could see that they cared. Like there was a level of emotion. There was some serious leadership coming out of like Ernest Jones, and
for sure.
I just got this vibe. Like I'm like, they're playing. They could be. The Rams would have beat anybody today, except for maybe the 49ers. That's how I felt. Like I felt like the Rams really could have beaten anyone today. The way they played, and I think they just came out. McVay had them so ready to go. And by the way, like, we've heard the argument like last year when they came out flat against the Bills. It was like everyone was like, oh, maybe they should stop sitting their starters in preseason. McVay didn't stop sitting his starters. Like he still sat Stafford and all those guys and came out and looked really good. So I don't know. I mean, I think there's, looking at it, I think they definitely have this renewed energy about them. This team, and to me, to be fair, they fought hard at the end of last year, but I think there was a middle ground during the season, like that middle point where I just don't feel like they were as hard fought as you would like them to be, if that makes sense. And I feel like today they kind of showed that they had that.
I mean, last year, especially with young guys, last year felt like flashes of little things, like Tutu in that Saints game and Van in that Raiders game, Skoranek in that Raiders game. There's flashes of like these players can play. They're just not put together, and there's injuries and all that. But man, this team felt complete.
Yeah,
felt like a football team.
It did. Anytime you only punt once, that's always good. The run game, I think, to Mandalorian's point, who was in here earlier, saying how they went more gap scheme and they were just mixing up, their running attack. I mean, I think those things will pay dividends in the end, and I think. This is just, there's, I understand, okay, week one isn't everything, but let's just put it this way. The Rams have a lot of momentum, and you'd rather be the Rams right now than the Giants, who just lost 40-0 at home.
Yeah. It sets the tone. And it's like, I know teams like, we were saying after the Bills game, oh, things will recover, we'll get better. And it's like, it really does set the tone. And it's hard to recover from a bad opener. Like, I want to see how the Seahawks do this year because, I mean, that's tough.
Yeah, they're just laying an egg in front of that audience. I mean, and they came out. I mean, they scored on the first drive. Yeah. They kicked a field goal, but they did respond. They took the lead. I think that's another thing. The Rams dealt with adversity pretty well. And I feel like they did a nice job today because they were down in this game. It's hard to believe it, but it was one of those games where it was like this. They always lose these games, man. Like that's how they lose. Is like the games they lose are games where they dominate and they just or they get destroyed. But most of the time, it's games that dominate and they just don't put teams away. And then all of a sudden they come out of nowhere. I mean, we saw it last year with the Falcons. They almost came back. They won it, but they almost came back from that. They dominated the Falcons.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of that. But question for you, going into this year, I don't exactly know, where you had the Rams, but did today change your mind about anything in regards to the Rams' future?
I mean, I've been with you on how you think the offense is going to do. I think this year is going to be a good year for offense, and I was I was expecting Matthew Stafford to come out as he did. I was expecting the receivers to come out like they did. Puka was surprising, but man, Puka's awesome. What really, I think I'm more confident about this season just with how the young defense played. I mean, individual efforts and team efforts, like Darion Kendrick today. I mean, he had that one bad play, but he locked DK Metcalf down like Scoot was talking about. In Raheem Morris, everyone always gives him shit, like one bad game, and
every time
it's Raheem's fault. And it's not that the offense didn't score at 20 points. No, the defense let 23 points go. It's like it always comes back to him, and I think he needs to get his credit because this is a young group, and without him, I mean, this doesn't happen. So
yeah,
it's definitely exciting. I hope the defense keeps it up against the Niners because that Christian McCaffrey is always scary.
No, I agree with that. I mean, he's a tough one. Just wrapping it up here, just because I'm about to get off. I want to be able to bring everybody in here.
Yeah.
But do you see the Rams winning this week against the 49ers? Where are you on that game?
Man, I think we're all traumatized from the Niners. They beat us when in the regular season when it doesn't matter, and we beat them in the playoffs. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I would like to think they'd win. I'd like to think the momentum. It's just, I mean, I look at the rosters and where the talent's at on them, and I just think that defense scares me, and it always does. But if Sean McVay sticks to the run next week, I think we have a shot, basically. And I know with the Niners, he tends to jump and say it's not working, but if today was any indication, I think we have a chance.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Any final thoughts you have before you head on out of here?
No, thanks for having me on. I've been a fan for a while, and I've never really interacted with you. So nice to meet you, and
nice
I'll
to meet you too,
let
man.
the other people in the waiting room get going here, so you can get to sleep out east.
Yeah, you can tell I'm getting tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been streaming for, I don't know. It's been over 8 hours pretty much every day, it seems like. Just because I do gaming streams on Kick, and I do the JE Lives and Bleacher Report. I didn't even factor in, so yeah. But yeah, no, I appreciate the support, man.
Jake's live again.
Yeah.
So, okay, good talking to you. I'll let the other guys get in. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Come by anytime.
Thank you.
All right. So the last two here. Darth, you there?
Hey, Jake.
How's it going, Darth?
It's going great.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I think everybody's having a pretty fun night, especially because we're not Giants fans. But the Rams, they played extremely well today, and I don't think a lot of people were expecting that. I was expecting them to win, as I'm sure you knew, but not 30-13. So, love that. I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and then I'm going to bring in APC, and then I'm going to go to bed because I'm exhausted. But those 3 questions. First off, Darth, how did you feel about this game? What were your thoughts?
I was completely stunned of how efficient our offense looked. Like, I thought our offense would do good, but not that good.
Yeah.
Like, my goodness. Matthew Stafford just looked like a complete, like, just himself. Like, he was just, it felt like whatever he wanted, he got. I mean, of course, there were a couple of like maybe like a few bad throws and a couple like drop passes from his like receivers, but for the most part, it just felt like he got what he wanted.
No, I agree with you, and I think I wasn't overly surprised, so much so, because I've been really high on this offense, but I think it was just nice to see it all come to fruition. Kind of like when you believe in something, and you're like, okay, like I believe in it, see it, right? Like I need to really see it, and just watching Stafford throw from different arm angles, here, like it didn't matter. The guy just throws just a absolute missile. Like he is just a missile launcher. Speaking of which, did this Stafford and this performance, did this change your mind about anything moving forward? Do you think they're going to be better? Did it not change your mind? Where are you on the Rams now moving forward? And then the question after that, I'll ask you about the 49ers.
I think my opinion, I think I can like say that they're definitely much better than I was like thinking. I'm still worried about the defense. I know the defense played great, but I'm concerned on the run defense. I feel like Christian McCaffrey is going to torch us. I think Christian McCaffrey could potentially go for maybe like 200 rushing yards, potentially.
Wow. You think Christian McCaffrey is just going to basically light the entire defense on fire?
I mean, I just saw like if McCaffrey's just like going off the edge, I just don't see our edge rushers like catching up to him, and he could get just a huge rip off. And because like I saw like Kenneth Walker like just felt like he was running lights out on like the edge. It just seemed like we didn't really tackle very well or like get there and now running anybody.
No, I get that. It's funny is that they stopped running the ball with him and he was over 5 yards of carry. But obviously that seems weird at first, but when you think of it, the ball, because the Rams basically forced their hand. And this is the important thing moving forward is like, how do you, if you're like losing in the run game, the best way to stop them and force their hand is get them down, and the way to do that is score on offense and score touchdowns instead of field goals. Put some pressure. Now you have the simulation of I'm running out of time. I need to throw the ball. Now you're not running it anymore, right? You can't run it. So that's how the Rams essentially gaslit Seattle's offense, because they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna bring you down, and that way, even though you're running well, you won't be able to run anymore. So that's essentially what they did, because I mean they couldn't stop him, but Seattle stopped him, so worked out in the end. So real quick, do you have any final thoughts you want to throw out there before I bring in APC to wrap up the show?
First off, on the 49ers question, so I think the 49ers win the game, and I think it can be close, but I also would not be shocked if the Niners just put a whooping on us, just because I feel like, I don't know like what it is, but like it just seems like the Niners, I feel like when they play anybody else, they're either really good or really bad, but whenever it's the Rams, they just feel like they're unstoppable. And I just think like Kyle Shanahan for some reason just knows how to stop McVay's like offense, and just knows how to torch like the defense no matter who we have. Like even when we had like Jalen Ramsey and that stuff, it just felt like nothing we could stop. So, and with like the pass rush just not getting there, I just feel like the Niners can just possibly like just completely have their way. And I feel like our offense is going to really have to show up. Like, I think we gotta have these like long drives and keep our defense off the field and not get them tired, because I feel like that's what's gonna. I feel like if our offense just doesn't play very well, I think we're gonna get blown out completely.
That's certainly possible. That's certainly possible. Yeah, I mean, I don't see a blowout. I don't even know if they're gonna win or lose right now. I haven't figured that out, but I don't see a blowout. But you know, I guess you never know.
I hope you're right about that. I don't want to see a blowout, but you just never know.
Yeah, no, I feel that. But hey, man, I appreciate you stopping in yet again. Feel free to come in anytime, and I look forward to talking with you in the next one.
Yeah, great talking to you.
You too. You take care, Darth.
All right, you too.
All right, later. APC. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for waiting. I appreciate your patience.
No problem. I kept going back in and out. I wasn't sure I was going to do the call in or not, but I was like, I'll just do it.
Yeah, no, I feel that. So, 3 questions.
All right.
First off, what were your thoughts on the game today?
You know, they kind of start off kind of slow, which is kind of, I think it's kind of usual with them a little bit, except for that one time, except for Stafford's first year, when, you know, they start off with a big bomb. But I think ever since they kind of did the whole not playing the preseason, I always feel like it takes a little bit for them to get into it. But I mean, they start off pretty good. The defense was kind of like the part that was kind of struggling in the beginning. So I kind of felt like the offense was going to have to. I kind of felt like it was going to be like one of those seasons where like the offense was going to have to score a lot of points in order for the Rams to like win. But you know, the defense actually came together in the second half, and they played really well. So I'm really excited for the rest of the season after that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think I thought this was going to be a close game. Thought it was going to be a high scoring game, shootout, and I was gladly, you know, I was glad that I was wrong. You know, pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Going into the season, okay, I don't know exactly what you predicted, like record-wise, but did this game change your mind about this team moving forward?
I say no, because I kind of had them around I had them probably like around 10-7. I would say.
So same as me, yeah.
Yeah, and like I think the Seahawks were good last year, but I'm still not really a big believer in Geno Smith. And
yeah,
I just kind of you always have. I mean, those players you have to watch out. They always have there's players out there who always have like one good season, and then they get the expectations, they get a new contract, and then next year it's kind of like everybody caught on to them type of thing, and that happens a lot. So you kind of have to wait to see can they do it again type of thing.
No, I definitely agree with you there. 100% agree with you there. I think really Seattle has been a team that no one seems to know how to rate. It's either they're way too high or way too low. Last year they were too low. This year I feel like they're too high. The year before they were too high. You know, I feel like they're always that team that's just overrated or underrated. Like no one knows how to properly rate Seattle. And I think a lot of it's Pete Carroll. Because I think Pete Carroll still garners a ton of hate, but also he garners a ton of love. And
exactly.
You know, like so he's one of those coaches, like I think he just gets the benefit of the doubt, and then there are also people that just hate on him. Whereas Sean Payton just gets the benefit of the doubt no matter what he does. By the way, who won today? Was it the Raiders, the Broncos?
Raiders won.
Raiders won. Okay, good. I don't like Sean Payton.
I think Russell Wilson's done. I don't know.
Yeah, I had the Broncos winning that game, but yeah, I don't like Sean Payton. Oh my god, my picks were awful today. I'm looking at the scoreboard, like good lord. Did I get a game
Yeah,
right except for the Rams?
I would say out of all the games I've seen, or at least even the highlight stuff, I feel like the Rams played the best complete, other than the 49ers and
Yeah.
I don't count Dallas. Giants just played terrible.
Yeah, I didn't see the game, so I can't say. But the Dolphins, I mean, it looked like the Dolphins had a shootout. But yeah, as far as like playing both sides of the ball, you know, stopping teams on defense and all that. Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying there. Because, you know, you look at the 49ers, it was a defensive clinic, offensive clinic. And it's just like, you know, I don't know. By the way, I just have to say this one thing. Justin's Entertainment, this channel is garbage. Dude was talking like Stetson was better than Stafford. Crazy. Justin's Entertainment, real quick, APC. I never said that. Okay? I've always been pro Stafford, so don't put words in my mouth that I didn't say. Because like I'm okay with the hate. I love the hate. Bring it on. But don't lie about me. I mean, I have 326 people in here that know that you're talking absolute bullshit right now. So I've been pro Stafford since he was with the Lions. I've been watching this guy for years. Don't make up shit like that. Don't. All right. Your turn now, APC.
Yeah. I mean, hey, the way Stafford looked today, it's like, it just makes you realize like how injured he was before. Because he just looked different throwing the ball.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've been saying for years, you know, Stafford gets out of that environment. He has an actual defense, maybe an offensive line that can protect him. And this guy can be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And when he was traded to the Rams, I was live. And the moment he was traded to the Rams, they say they're winning the Super Bowl. And I've been saying it. There's a tweet I had 5 years before they made the trade. I wanted the Rams to trade for Stafford. So it's funny that you get these people that like don't know you and like they want to trash you, but it's like, which is fine. Like, you know, if people hate you, that's good. Like, right. Like the moment people stop talking about you and you're in content, like you're done. But it's like the falsities, like everyone and their mother knows I'm like one of the biggest Stafford fans out there.
Yeah. It's like that with every aspect of anything.
Oh,
People
I know.
will say things. In everything, it's I don't know. They got to say things to try to make themselves relevant somehow.
Yeah, dude's a clown anyway. So, yeah. No, I think with Stafford today, I think he showed you. I mean, he lost weight, so he got he got lighter on his feet. You could see that when he was running. And I mean,
he got scared when he was running though. I was like, don't
yeah. No, I get that. I think when you look at Stafford though, the mobility's back, at least a little bit. And I think this guy can make every throw from every single off platform, on platform. He's just one of the best creative passers in the National Football League and one of the best of all time. Because he really is. And that's the thing. Like, everyone's like, oh, it's Stat Padford. Oh, the interceptions. Like, I saw someone today comment, dude, you thought that he was better than Mahomes this week? I was like, yeah. He was a lot better than Mahomes. Mahomes didn't play a good game. Like, it's okay to admit Mahomes didn't play a good game. You know?
Yeah. He's going to have a good season anyways. It's all right.
Yeah, he's the best quarterback in the league. He had a bad game. I've been on Mahomes. He was my number one overall quarterback prospect the year he came out. Everyone thought I was crazy. It's not like I'm anti-Mahomes. He made me look like a genius. But Stafford truly was the best quarterback I saw today. Now, I did not see the Dolphins game. Okay? So when I go back and I watch that, I'm probably going to think Tua was. But no, Stafford was making every throw, and the throws he missed, like he just missed them, and he had already hit like a redeeming throw before, and just fitting in between two defenders or three defenders, or he was just whatever. He was in his bag, man. He was like, I'm gonna throw it no matter what. But anyway, APC, we're going off the rails here. So last question here, the 49ers. Where are you on that game? Where do you see that going?
I still have the same concerns I have every year with the 49ers. I just don't know how well the Rams match up with them physically. And I think that's always kind of been the issue with them. especially with like receivers. They get pushed around a lot. They try to do that, a lot of physicality with them, get them off their routes, and kind of make it hard for them to get open. So, and I get kind of worried with like the Cup being out because he's one of our bigger receivers, and then Tutu being smaller. Like, is he going to be able to get through the contact and get open? Giving Stafford enough time for the line to go through the progressions and like execute the offense the way they want to. I do think the best thing possible for him is that the Niners are, as always, they get in their head and I think they just think they own the Rams and they're going to go in there and they possibly overlook them, just thinking that they're going to, they always say the same old Rams, they treat them like, we got their number and kind of just overlook them and think they have it in the bag and maybe we can catch them off guard. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I'm actually hoping the same because it feels like every time the Rams play the Niners, they're coming off a 3-game losing streak or something. And yeah, it just having them come off a win, I think, is the best possible scenario for the Rams, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want them at their best. So I know there were people that were rooting for Nick Bosa not to play. And not sign. I'm like, I want them at their best. I don't want to hear any excuses. I mean, you still will.
Exactly.
You always will.
Yeah. There'll be something.
Yeah, there'll always be something. But no, I think the Rams have a chance to compete in that game. They might not win, but I think they're gonna make that. They're gonna make that a game. And so, I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm not really too concerned because them losing or winning week 2 doesn't determine the season. I would say the 49er win would go a long way just because of the rivalry, right? Like it would feel, it wouldn't matter because they'd still be like, oh, we've beaten you the last, like whatever. But, I still think it would go a long way. It would be amazing because you have this team that everyone's saying is tanking. The 49ers fans say that they're stuck in, salary cap hell and that they're not good and they have a bunch of XFL players. What happens if they beat the 49ers? It's like,
exactly.
Well, what are you saying then? Bunch of XFL players just beat your team? Come on now. So, yeah.
It'll be interesting. Like, it's funny because growing up, my dad was a Ram fan, my brother's a Niner fan, so we always have that kind of that rivalry between each other. So it was always interesting. The whole '90s, he was able to talk crap to me. So it's good to get back at him every once in a while.
Yeah. No, I hear
you.
I did have some questions for you because watching the game, I was like, I don't know if it was just me or when I was paying attention. I just felt like Geno Smith was only throwing to his left-hand side the whole time. And like, it was just like, I didn't see many passes go to the right or even like down the middle. I just felt like he was like going to the left the whole game.
That's
and I don't know if they were targeting Kendricks most of the time because I felt like it was always Kendricks involved somehow, or always by over there. It's like I didn't like after the first quarter. I know they went. I just felt like they didn't go towards any of the other cornerbacks.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting. I'm going to answer that in a sec real quick. Drew, thank you so much for the 20. I forgot to tell you that, and I just saw the 20 come back up on the screen. Go Rams. Wow, Stafford looked as lethal as he has in a long time. Thanks for the continuous Rams coverage. Love the call-ins. Appreciate it, Drew. Definitely be sure to stop in sometime. We're ending the call-ins now. I know there's people like calling in, and I just got to say, I got no more gas left in the tank. Like APC, this is it. I'm sorry. I don't want to piss anybody off, but like this quality is going to dip really quickly because I am so tired. But APC, you were just talking about the left side. I got to say, I don't think I noticed that. I really don't think I noticed that, but that is something that I will be I'll be sure to highlight when we're doing our all 22. Because I break down the all 22 on Kick. So that'll be either Wednesday or Thursday, depending. But yeah, I'll look into that because that's a good mental note. Like, what Geno? Is it Geno's limitation? Is it Geno trying to target and like take advantage? Like, is he being cerebral and it's backfiring? Like, that's really interesting.
Yeah, that's just what I caught off, and I was just like, is my seeing it right?
Yeah,
I remember there's some quarterbacks who they throw better to one side than the other, so they kind of try to stick to that. But I know you're gonna get off right now, so I just had one other quick question.
Yeah, of course.
Once Coop, okay, so when with Puka, I had the same
feeling about Puka when they drafted him as I did about Cup. Like I just knew Cup. I just knew he had like sure hands, and like I just felt like he was gonna be good. And I get the same kind of feeling with Puka, but at the same time, like watching the game, I kind of feel like they play the same, like same kind of routes, same kind of like. So like when they're both there at the same time, like how do you think that would work together? And like, what receiver would kind of tail off?
Well, that's a really good question. So I think it would work because, you know, Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp and Van Jefferson kind of were all the same receiver. Van Jefferson developed more of a long, see, like at Florida, he had a deep ball like ability, like to go up and get it and deep ball tracking, but he was just a route runner. Like he was a really good route runner, create separation, you know, quick slants, things like that.
Yeah.
But he kind of reinvented himself in the NFL, became more of a deep threat. And so now it's like, you know, you could really just make him interchangeable at that point, essentially. You know? So I think that's really it, is that I think they would just be interchangeable. You wouldn't have to worry necessarily about how they fit. But yeah, they'd be like interchangeable. You could use them all over the field and what have you.
Okay. Yeah, because I kind of feel like I would like it better if it was Atwell, Cup, and Puka, like in, because Jefferson, I like Jefferson, but like I feel like he's had a lot of opportunities and he still has a lot of mistakes, and he tends to disappear from games like the Super Bowl, and like, you know, I feel like when we need to rely on him, he comes up now and then, but he also still has times where he kind of fades away and disappears. So it's like, and I think Atwell has something special, and I would like him to get more opportunities.
Yeah. No, I'm very excited for Tutu Atwell. I don't know what to make of him in the 49er game. I'm not sure how they want to attack that defense. I don't know who gets, you know, who covers him, who's the assignment, but should be interesting. I think that motion really just threw Seattle all over the place. You know, he was able to get free releases at will, and I think that's something that they're going to look to do, you know, against the 49ers, I think, especially with going out and getting Charvarius Ward last year, who's one of the best corners in the league. You know, I think with that defense, the secondary, the pass rush, they're going to have to do some creative things because Stafford's going to get more pressure this week, I think, for sure.
Definitely, yeah.
So.
Well, cool, man. I appreciate it. Taking time to talk to me and answer my questions. And
absolutely.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah. No, I wish I could stay longer. I know I had people in the waiting room, but it's just like I'm toast. And trust me, like when I'm burnt out or like when I'm done, like when my tank is empty, my tank's empty. Because I've gone 38 hours without sleep before. Like, you know, I've done 24-hour live streams. Like what am I my tank is empty. But no, I appreciate you and feel free to stop by anytime.
All right, man. Cool. Go Rams.
Go Rams. Take care.
All right, man.
All right, guys. So that is going to do it for this one. Before you leave, I just ask one thing. All right. If you have not already, join Kick and follow me on Kick. I want to give a shout out also to the people that did follow me while I was live. Skira the Panda, YBN Perez, Apollo, Timbergate, and James Flom, who just followed. And I just hit 600 followers on Kick. So I appreciate you guys. If you could, hit that follow button. We're doing constant all 22. So if you want to see Rams-centric all 22 breakdowns each week after the game, this is where you're going to find it. Okay? So right here, that's the link. That arrow is a fail. Do not judge me. It's also pinned in the chat. I love it. Before you guys leave, if you guys could do me a big favor, everyone in this chat, if you're a fan of mine and you want more content, click that link. It takes 30 seconds to sign up, and it's free. It's called kick.com. Do kick.com/JKBogan. It'll get you to the site. But yeah, would be freaking sweet if you could do that for me. Kevin Dotson video. Yes, I still have to do it. Ow. Ow. I just banged my knee. I don't know if you even heard that. Banged my knee on the desk. Oh, I've done that now multiple times. It's pain. It's pain over here. We're in pain. 530 likes. Good Lord. You too, Chacho. Appreciate you. Bolt, I'm out of fuel. So no gaming tonight. Gaming tomorrow, though. We almost had a 4-hour Rams post-game live stream. Like, that's crazy. Yes, recap vid with Alexis. Believe in Rams. Big guest this week. News about where I'm going to start writing my Rams content. Because I'm coming out of writing retirement. So I'll be writing. I'll be doing videos, podcasting, all that, gaming. But yeah. That's a big opening Sunday. To recap, we got how many? Swizzleberry gifted. So today, let's see here. Swizzleberry gifted 15, 59, 60, 69, 70. No, sorry, that can't be right. 90. He gifted 89 subs today. That can't be right. No, he did. Like 89 subs. That's insane. So I got 89 subs from Swizzleberry. I got a sub from Will. I got a sub from SoCal Ram 88. Yeah, that's a lot of good Lord, Swizzleberry. Appreciate you. And I'm just going to read these here if my viewer activity loads. That'd be cool if it did. Is it just not going to load? Really, YouTube? You're going to do me like that? I wanted to read all the super chats. Ah, here we go. Super chat. Okay, special shout outs to Swizzleberry, Will, and SoCal Ram for the subs on Kick. And special shout outs to the super chatters on YouTube, Monty Brown TV, Ascending Keys Beats, Hilltop Sasquatch fan page, Tim Rivera, Julian Dominguez, Tim03B, Boondy Williams, Monty Brown TV ×2, Rakeem Kresh, Don Robinson, Isaac Rodriguez, Bobby Belcher, Ricardo Mendoza, Michael King, James Hill, Ricardo Mendoza ×2, Too Dangerous, Derek Harrell, DHP, Fernando Cabrera, Derek Harrell, Joe Cool, Hilltop Sasquatch, Matthew Plowden, Craig Abel, excuse me if I messed that up, and Drew Pulaski. So that is everybody. I appreciate everyone's fan funding, donations, super chats, all that. You guys are great. And once again, if you haven't already, it takes 30 seconds. Sign up for my Kick channel. And we'll be doing all 22 this upcoming week. So we'll be breaking down the Rams and Seahawks game. Then the following week, Rams and 49ers game and so forth. I'm running out of gas. I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. Love y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed NFL Sunday. You guys had a great day. Thought it was pretty successful. You guys take care, and we'll see you guys soon. Later, folks.